Hi, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Mosinee, Wisconsin. It is football night here as the Indians prepare to take on the Medford Red Raiders, and special game sponsor, Mosinee Family Chiropractic. Mosinee Family Chiropractic is your locally owned complete health and wellness center. Dr. Bars and Dr. Miller offer excellent care to improve your quality of life and get you back to doing what you love. For the best chiropractic care you can find, look to Mosinee Chiropractic. Good luck, Mosinee football. And we turn to our pregame show with hosts Dan Ross and Chris Conley.
Well, let's first start with the obvious tonight. We're going to crown a Great Northern champion in this Week 8 game. Both of these teams have won all of their conference matchups. Mosinee's got a tie from earlier in the season, a lightning game against Stratford. Medford has an out-of-conference loss. Who do we like? Because just you look at the teams warming up. Medford's a bigger team. They're going to run the ball. Maybe they can just pound away and get a win. Mosinee's skill players, quarterback and outside receivers. Who do we like tonight?
Yeah, that's a great question. This is going to be one of the better matchups in the area tonight, I would say. Kind of a coin flip game, right? Both teams have rolled through conference, and yeah, I'm glad that we have a first-hand look at what's going to happen tonight.
I mean, look, if Medford's a little bigger, that's not Mosinee's fault. Mosinee's done everything that's been asked of them to get to this game. There's also an experience factor. Medford has more seniors. Mosinee will start a junior quarterback tonight. And while this is senior night, so you look at who from the Indians are going to be honored tonight, and you see right away that there are a lot of sophomores and a lot of juniors. Mosinee could come back a better team, and maybe if things don't tilt their way tonight, maybe next year they'll play even better football.
That's very true, and obviously Medford and Mosinee are no strangers to playing for this conference title. I know Rhinelander was in the mix last year, but these are the top two programs in the conference.
Both of these teams tuned up easier opponents last week. Medford was a 66-0 winner over Rhinelander. Mosinee took care of their business, too. They were 42-0 winners over Anago. So it's nice when you get this matchup late in the season and both teams can say, hey, we're playing our best football.
It's very true, and we've talked a little bit on the Zaleski Sports Network about the Great Northern Conference, and it's very top-heavy this year. Obviously, Medford and Mosinee are the cream of the crop. Everybody else in the conference is very similar, but quite a few steps behind these two programs this year.
Let's talk a little about what else is happening in Week 8 high school football. Among the bigger schools today, the Valley Football Association, Marshfield, Wisconsin Rapids, and Wausau West all play tonight, and they're all favored in their games. But if any one of those three teams stumbles, well, then they fall out of consideration. So it's a Week 8 where those big teams can't make any mistakes. DC Everest was going to play out of conference. Their game against Milwaukee Science Academy was canceled, so they are open tonight and get a bye to play Wausau West in Week 9. So we've got a lot of interesting games around our Zaleski Sports channels. I think that this is the most intriguing matchup. So all of the Zaleski stars are out tonight. Jason, Dan, Chris. Let's talk a little bit about weather and field conditions. It's a home game for Mosinee. I think late in the season that matters. They'll be playing in front of a home crowd, and the bleachers are going to fill in, and everyone from Mosinee is going to have an interest in how the boys do tonight. So that's a little check mark for the home team tonight.
Yeah, and it's cold. It's we have been blessed this season. It's been very nice, besides for some rain and lightning every Friday night, but yeah, fall has definitely set in. I don't know who that favors. Maybe the ground and pound offense of Medford maybe favors a little bit. But yeah, we're at Mosinee. Mosinee obviously didn't have to travel. They have the home fans. They're running on the field. Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Well, I'll tell you this. The thing that's going to make tonight manageable, and this is the coldest weather game of the season for both of these teams, it's not very windy. We're going to kick off. It's going to be in the low 40s. We only got into the upper 40s today. The field's in pretty good condition. As I walked it, you wonder, does the field get a little soggy this late or a little bit chewed up?
It's
actually,
nice.
the field is kind of hard and is in good condition. So I don't think the weather is going to be a factor aside from, this is cold compared to, we've put away the lemonade at the concession stand and we're selling hot chocolate tonight.
It's very true. And the one thing that I think is most important for Mosinee tonight is try to get Medford off the field offensively. And when you do get the ball, try to sustain drives. because these ground and pound teams, it really adds on to what the defense is trying to do when it's 12-play drives, 10-play drives, and you have to tackle 10, 12, 13 times over and over.
The men of the Mosinee VFW are still serving us, and they are presenting the colors right now as the crowd here in Mosinee will come to their feet. And our student musicians from the Mosinee High School Marching Band will be giving us the Star-Spangled Banner in just a moment as the colors come out in front of the grandstand. Let's go out to field level for the Star-Spangled Banner.
Standing as we honor America and those defending our freedom throughout the world with the playing of our national anthem, performed tonight by Mosinee Pep Band and led by Mosinee Band Director Tyler Schuster.
Both of these teams will be favored to win in Week 9, which means this amounts to a championship game in the Great Northern. Mosinee and Medford. Indians get the ball first. We'll kick off our Week 8 play-by-play. Let's come right back after this commercial break on Zaleski Sports.
Winter's coming fast, which means it's time to hit the trails. Bill's Service Center has all things you need to stay warm and dry on the trails this winter. With a full selection of jackets, bibs, helmets, boots, casual wear. And don't forget that Bill's is your chainsaw safety gear headquarters. Bill's Service Center is your one-stop connection for all your cold weather riding gear.
Don't freeze your jingle bells off. Get your cold weather riding gear at Bill's Service Center. Bill's Service Center, where the adventure begins.
Cropping Central, conveniently located between Edgar and Stratford on County Road N, 715-352-2843. Let Cropping Central take care of your field plans, yield mapping, crop scouting, and crop protection, including hail insurance. Cropping Central, 715-352-2843, and visit them on County Road N, west of Edgar. As we return to Mosinee, the seniors have been introduced. We turn our attention now to the Medford starting lineup, and today's game brought to you by the Pit Stop Bar and Grill. The Pit Stop Bar and Grill, where Mosinee meets for good food, good company, and good times. Located right in the heart of Mosinee, the Pit Stop Bar and Grill, the local hotspot, open 7 days a week. Back to Chris and Dan.
Both teams start junior quarterbacks. Gavin Obremski for the Mosinee Red Raiders. Beg your pardon. He'll start for the Mosinee Indians. Senior quarterback Logan Baumgartner starts for Medford. Medford wears the road white, Red Raiders in the red pants and red numerals. Mosinee in their home purple with the gray pants. We see when a lot of the bigger schools play that they'll be introduced by a team. They'll all run out and gather at the 50-yard line. Late in the season and for senior night here in Mosinee, everyone's being introduced individually here.
On the defensive line is senior number 75, Bryce Spear.
Again, you just size up these teams. Medford has bigger players, and Medford looks like, for mid-sized schools, Medford's got a lot of kids that came out for football this year, and the number of kids that you have in your program is one of the signs of success.
Yeah, they look intimidating. I'm not going to lie. They definitely have the beef on their side, right? They have big guys. They have big linemen.
Yeah, and Mosinee, when they have the ball, is going to want to throw, going to want to move the ball downfield with a quick strike. So one of the things that we'll size up earlier in the game, what does the line play look like? Can you get your quarterback the time? Are you going to win in the trenches and give some of those plays downfield a little bit of time to develop?
Yeah, and like I said before the break, if Mosinee has to tackle Medford 40 times tonight, they're probably not going to win this game, right? Have to get the Medford offense off the field, and you have to be able to sustain drives on your own if you're Mosinee.
I was just down on the field as the teams were warming up, and one of the messages that the coaching staff gave is they gathered the Mosinee defense over, that this is going to be about individual plays and who rises to the occasion. Look, Mosinee might be a competitive team a year from now also, but you're in this position right now, and you don't want to let your opportunity get away. For both of these teams, you want to be playing your best football tonight.
Yeah. It's week 8. You know, this is the type of game that you think back on when you're 25 years from now and you remember what it felt like to win a conference championship. That's this moment. That's tonight.
You know, what I hear over and over again is it's the road wins that athletes remember the most. When you go on the road to somebody else's place, claim the victory, or in this case, potentially claim the conference championship, and then you're on the bus with your guys for, in this case, maybe an hour to get back home, that those are always special memories. All right, pregame festivities are over. Mosinee will be getting the ball first. Little wind to speak of tonight, but we'll kick off in the lower 40s. You know, we're going down to the 20s tonight.
Yeah, low 20s,
long after this game is over, thank goodness.
Yeah, I miss July. I miss August.
You know, this is one of the funniest things, but the coldest high school game that I broadcast was a baseball game. It was an early morning in Eau Claire. We're over at Carson Park, and, you know, because they have sometimes doubleheaders or triple headers, we're playing at 10 in the morning, and it was in the low 30s. Coldest game outside. And the warmest game that I've done was a football game. It was an Everest Marshfield game, second week of the season. We were over at the old Beale Stadium, and it was 92 degrees. So football's the warmest, baseball's the coldest, and Wisconsin is kind of funny that way, isn't it?
Well, we're glad that Everest didn't play tonight because we got you here tonight.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Ball's on the tee. Let's light this candle. A short pooch kick fielded at the 35-yard line and no return. Indians will start right there.
Ball returned by number 16, Colton Cherrick.
Colton Cherrick, to me, looked a little unsure what to do with the pooch kick. Of course, ball security first if you're surprised. No problem with ball security, but didn't advance the ball upfield either. First and 10, 37.
If you're not one of the 2 or 3 main ball handlers in kickoffs, you just hold on to it and just secure it.
Mosinee comes out with a 4-receiver package. Twins to either side. Obremski from the pistol on first down. One back behind him. Snap is low, picked up off the turf. Protection's all right, over the middle, complete. Right at the sticks.
Completed to number 4, Keegan Jersley.
Keegan Jersley, who's probably the best of the Mosinee receivers, and it's spotted right at gain of 10, and will move the chains. First down.
Definitely one of the best receivers in the area, I would say. Very talented.
I remember Jersley was over at Walsall West for a while, transferred into Mosinee, big asset for the football team here. Out to the 47-yard line, on the ground. Quarterback pulls the ball back, keeps it himself, 3 yards. Again, we'll watch what can Mosinee get between the tackles against a pretty big defensive line. And I think, you know, what do you want on first down? 4, maybe 5 yards. Got 3 here, so you kind of live to fight another day.
Now, you definitely don't want 2nd and 10.
Right, want to make sure that you're in front of the chains. 3-receiver package, 2 to the far side of the field. On the ground again, this is a handoff, and Medford wins that battle between the tackles. Bunkelman carries for 2. Here comes 3rd and 5.
Definitely 4-down territory here. No need to get all 5.
Mosinee's going to need the 43-yard line. Twins to either side again. From the pistol with one back behind. Going to throw out to the flat. Complete. Got to do some work with the legs. He's not there. 2 yards short. But I think in this game, at this spot on the field, go for it.
Absolutely.
This was an easy decision for the Indians. The offense stays out. And hold on. Well, what do we know up here?
Nothing. We know nothing, Chris.
Dan and Chris are wrong for the first time, and the punt unit comes out.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell where we're at. A lot of fields have the 10 yards marked, like most fields, and yeah, it's a 45. The other 45. Kind of surprising, but we're not coaching.
Grant Kolklinski to kick it away. Good protection on the punt. Angled towards the far sideline. This is a short kick. It's going to be marked between the 20 and the 25-yard line. That is a 19-yard punt. So I think Mosinee was looking for a little more out of that, and here come the Red Raiders. And let's see if this is going to be a churn-it-out kind of night for them. Again, this is a team that put up 66 points a week ago. And you know what? In high school football, when you get into running time, it takes some doing to get 66. You've got to have a couple of quick strikes or special teams or defensive scores. 2 backs behind the quarterback on first down. Second back through. Mosinee defense is pretty solid there between the tackles.
We thought about sending you up to Mellon, Chris, to announce the 200-point game last week. And
you know what? I've had games that take all of your broadcasting skills. I did a playoff hockey game that was 11-0. And by that, you're telling stories. You may be singing some Broadway show tunes. Tucker Schreiner gained 2 yards, and now on second down, between the tackles, 3rd and 4 is coming up here.
Yeah, Mosinee is holding up to it right now.
Peyton Gillis was the leading rusher in that Rhinelander game a week ago, where a lot of the starters were on the bench by halftime. 3rd and 4 coming up, maybe 3rd and 3. Chance for the Mosinee defense to start with a 3 and out, and if they could, they'd be over the moon. So let's see in this. 2 runs up the middle, and on 3rd down, didn't get it.
That's a big stop.
So 3 runs, 2 yards, 3 yards, and 2 yards. Yeah, that one went backwards.
You know what?
-2.
And that's why you punt.
Right, absolutely. You know what? Mosinee passed up 4th and short, decided to kick. So early on, the coaching staff shows confidence in their defense, and they're going to trade pretty good field position on the exchange of punts here. Keegan Jershely to return. He's standing back at his own 45-yard line. A lot of air under this. It'll bounce, and that will take the friendliest of Red Raiders rolls.
That's a good punt.
Yeah, bounced at the 40 and then rolls back to the 25. So, another 15 yards or so on a friendly bounce.
And the punter's going over the sidelines talking about the English he put on that ball to make it bounce that way.
That's right. That's, out of the sand trap with the wedge, make it stick right on the green. You bet. So Mosinee will start further back than when they took the opening kickoff. Mid-stage, first quarter, each team's possessed the ball, but Medford goes 3 and out, and Mosinee gets it right back. To pass on first down, the protection's good over the middle, complete. Threw a bullet for 20 yards and a first down. Keegan Jershely.
Tackle made by number 5, Logan Baumgart.
A great throw, but what set up the play is the protection was good. The Mosinee offensive line held at scrimmage and gave their quarterback a nice lane to throw into.
You mentioned how a lot of these teams haven't been pushed the last couple of weeks. I wonder how that's going to affect the teams tonight.
Right, this is a higher level game than both of these teams have seen in recent weeks. Running back here falls forward for 2 yards on first down.
Ball carried by.
And we saw that formation in pregame where it's almost a run pass option, right? But in addition to that, you have the running back going wide and being able to pitch it out.
Wyatt Harris for 2. Second down. Roll out. Backside pressure. Gotta hurry. And off the hands of Jershely.
Pass intended for number 4, Keegan Jershely, falls incomplete.
First time we saw pressure so far tonight.
And you know what? Obremski had a sense that someone was behind him, so he knew he had to get rid of that ball or it was going to be forced out of bounds.
Yeah, real smart play, right? The receiver's not open. You don't have much. Throw it where only your guy can get it, and if it's incomplete, it's incomplete.
Need to get across the 50 to the 44 on this 3rd and 7. Somehow Mosinee gained a yard on an incomplete pass. Sometimes that happens. Blitz coming. Got the right screen set up here. That's the right call for that situation, and it's a first down. Wyatt Harris.
Yeah, as a coaching staff, when that call comes in and you see the 3 guys jailbreak from the side, you're just thinking to yourself, it's working, it's working.
Right, now there's a little bit of a guessing game there. The play works if the screen is set up to the side that the pressure came from, and it did, to that far side.
Yep, absolutely.
And you know what? For everyone who thought that the bigger Medford team would be bossing Mosinee around, here we are midway first period. Mosinee's holding their own. Deepest penetration for either team, and on first down, quarterback will keep it. Option, late pitch. And the quarterback makes the right decision. Penalty marker comes in.
Dinesh on the carry. Flag on the play.
Dinesh has a gain of 12. Let's see the flag. Thank you, sir.
They're definitely walking it back.
Yep.
Indication is a block in the back on Mosinee.
So this is a foul that happened at the end of the run. Mosinee gets to replay first down.
We'll bring up
We'll move the ball back to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, so 1st and 7.
Right, so it wipes out most, but not all, of the first down gain.
Yeah, you don't see that a whole lot. 1st and 7.
Twins to either side, snaps low, quarterback keeps it himself. Forward and not quite enough for the first down. Gavin Obremski is 3 yards short.
Hold them 9 your way here, Chris. Doing our best with the camera.
No, they've saved the best seats in the house for our Zaleski sports crew. We're set up right at the 50-yard line.
It's really nice.
Mosinee's been great hosts. Glad to be here calling this game tonight.
Always great hosts, always.
And this is second down, not third. They got to replay first down, so the playbook opens up on 3rd and short. Going to one-on-one coverage over the shoulder. Touchdown, Indians! Davin Stoffel. You know what? Mosinee had one-on-one coverage in the corner, too, so a couple of options. And there it is, a 34-yard touchdown pass. The Indians draw first blood. And you know, in games like this, you look for who's going to rise to the occasion. Quarterback Obremski's off to a good start. Out to try the PAT. Line drive. Good. 7-0 Indians. Back after this break on Zaleski Sports.
Edgar Family Restaurant is located just south of Highway 29 in Edgar and open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, drink, dessert, get it all at Edgar Family Restaurant. Homemade food to fill your belly and your soul. Daily specials including Friday fish fry, soup, salad, pies made from scratch, and a full menu of choices are yours at Edgar Family Restaurant. Give back to those who support our community. Give back and visit Edgar Family Restaurant for breakfast tomorrow, then stay for lunch and dinner too. Edgar Family Restaurant is a proud backer of Wildcats football. Back here to Mosinee after the Indians get on the scoreboard first here at home on senior night. And time to tell you about Varney Brothers. Freshen up your kitchen with new countertops, islands, or cabinets. Look to Varney Brothers Kitchen and Bath to bring the kitchen you have in mind to life. Consultants are free, so don't wait. That's Varney Brothers Kitchen and Bath. Back to Chris and Dan.
Thank you, Jason. Really a nice drive for Mosinee. They started back beyond their own 30, so they cover 70 yards. Mix of pass and run, 34-yard touchdown strike. QB's off to a good start, and everything's positive in the early stages for the Mosinee Indians. Coming back from the 5, let's see if Medford can get themselves better field position. Good special teams play. 24-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, Mosinee is excited. A lot of momentum for the Indians right now. That first score is so big in a game like this.
And Medford did nothing with the ball on their first time. 3 running plays, only managed 7 yards. Of course, it's early. The story of this game is not yet written, but just get the feeling that Medford has to be productive on this possession. On the ground, falling forward, 4 yards. Tucker Schreiner, he's one of the seniors, big kid. Stoffel up to make the stop, moves the ball out to the 30. And yes, it's early, but that 5-yard gain is the best offensive play for Medford so far.
Yeah, it feels good.
Breaks the huddle quickly up to the line of scrimmage, got a whistle. False start here.
Indication is a false start on Medford.
See, again, that's the little things. You got to keep your composure. You got to not be frustrated, too. You get 5 yards, that's your best play from scrimmage, and you go 5 yards back before you snap the ball again. So now it's 2nd and 10. And you know, the long yardage situations, Medford doesn't throw the ball a lot. So 2nd and 10 in this spot. Not the spot they want to be in. Try to get the corner, set an edge, gets back most but not all of the penalty yards. Tucker Schreiner.
This is a big play now.
Gain of 5 on the play will bring up a 3rd and 5.
You definitely don't want to punt the ball back to Mosinee with all the momentum that Mosinee has right now.
Sure, I mean, if you watch a lot of high school football, it's rare but not unheard of for teams to come back from 2 scores down. But you put pressure on your defense if you give the ball back to Mosinee here. And they keep it on the ground. Second effort's going to get close to the sticks. Yeah, that lunge forward is a 1st down.
11, very straight.
Peyton Gillis.
A lot of determination, knowing where he had to get to, getting the ball over the line.
Contact came short of the sticks and the second effort. I mean, if you're coaching running backs, keep those legs churning. Always try and keep the forward momentum and fall forward when you're being tackled. Those are the little things that got the 1st down. Otherwise, you'd be a little bit short. That ball is on the turf, picked up and recovered by the Red Raiders.
Logan Baumgartner. He drives forward for a gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Baumgartner was able to get 2 yards out of a play that could have been a disaster in that part of the field.
Yeah, it's very rare to even see Medford have wideouts.
Right. No receivers in this set. 3 in the backfield. Extra blockers there. And there's the first big, the extra blocker cleared out that path.
Yep.
11 yards forward. Move the sticks out near midfield. Medford's got it out to their 48-yard line.
I feel like if you don't see Medford for several seasons, it's the same team. It's the same philosophy.
Right. Players, particularly running backs and linemen, are plugging into a system that they've had some success with. And let's see what's developing here, because the last couple of plays have gone. They brought in the extra back as a blocker, and they've had more success between the tackles. So this is an adjustment. It's a gain of 6 on 1st down. Medford is into Mosinee territory for the first time tonight.
Let's see what the Mosinee coaching staff counters with here.
1st down. Gain of 5 more, down to the 41 as Gillis gets 5.
And of course, that's the problem, right? Is that you see run, and then it's one play action. You got one-on-one on the outside, and you get burned. So.
Oh, no, that's a great point. That's something you have to watch on our Zaleski Sports cameras. Eventually, if it's all going to be run and there's going to be an extra blocker, your defensive backs, they're up closer to the line, and you can get beat one time downfield, but you can give up points. Well, this is the first time in a while that the Mosinee defense holds Tucker Schreiner maybe half a yard.
Yeah,
if that.
And we're seeing on the near side on the camera here that the defensive line is winning on this half of the field, and even the last couple of times, Mosinee's been in the backfield, which is why they're running right mostly.
No receivers, quarterback down the line of scrimmage, got a hold here, and this is coming back. That Mosinee defensive lineman was dragged down, so what was a 10-yard gain coming back. If you're not familiar with high school football, holding is penalized differently. It's a 10-yard penalty, but it's from the spot of the foul, not from where the play begins.
So we're going to be looking at
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
18, maybe?
Replay second down.
Yeah.
And, if there's a team that's not designed to play from behind the sticks, it's Medford.
Absolutely.
So a play like that, a holding penalty, it's a drive killer. We go under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. And also, Mosinee, chews up the turf, chews up the clock. Keep the ball on the ground. So you're not going to get a lot of possessions against a team like the Red Raiders. They need to get all the way down to the 31-yard line. Gotta throw. Incomplete. And you just look at how that route was run. You can tell that these are receivers that are not called on a lot. I mean, what you want is a crisp cut towards the sideline, and instead that was kind of more like a slant, and the ball wasn't there in time.
This is third and very long here.
Medford's going to have to throw again.
Or a draw play or something and try to surprise the Mosinee defense.
Let's see how Mosinee sets this up defensively. I would drop back and play pass coverage. See what the linebackers do. Two are dropping back. Quarterback rolls out, throws to one-on-one coverage, a lot of air. Wow, the defensive back kind of misplayed that and came up, but Ty Metz is unable to make a play on the ball. It's incomplete. And the ball's right at midfield, but you punt away because it's 4th and 18.
Yeah, it's 4th and way too long.
Right, I get the feeling that the Medford playbook, that's not even a playbook, it's a tablet these days, isn't it? But there's not a lot in the 4th and behind the sticks part of the playbook. So
just don't make mistakes.
Yeah, a little pressure is going to shift back here to the Medford defense. The Indians are up by a touchdown. They're about to get the ball back. A lot of air under this. The knee did not go down, so this is in play. Jershely's got speed. He's got a blocker as he gets to the near side. Out across the 40, he fumbles and turns the ball over to Medford. There's the first mistake of the night.
It was a great return up to the big hit right in front of us. Just couldn't hold on to it.
So Medford gets the ball back 7 yards further downfield. Kind of like the drive. You know what? That's the way Mosinee should look at it. Is that a killer mistake? No, it's not. You were going to get the ball back. You wish you could. But really, you've given up 7 yards of field position. Defense has been playing good. Go out and play more good defense. False start. Left side of the line, nearest to us, left early.
False start on Medford. 5-yard penalty would be marked off. We'll bring up a 1st and 15.
Back to the midfield stripe. Aces are wild on the scoreboard. 1 minute and 11 seconds left in quarter number 1. Entertaining football game so far.
Absolutely. Jason and I were in Athens last week, and that was not that entertaining.
There are lots of times when big games don't live up to the hype. There's a big stick. Gets back the penalty yards, and that's it. Peyton Gillis, 2nd and 10. I mean, sure, there are still teams with good records where one is just better than the other and they're mismatches. But just visually, to me, these teams look like they're going to be at it all night. Couldn't tell you that one's on top of the other as we're getting late into the first quarter. We wouldn't have it any other way. Let's have one that comes down to the wire. Trying to get an edge, got a block just short of the first down. Schreiner was sprung by that tackle on the near side. Maybe the final play of quarter number 1. Got to move the ball down to the 35-yard line. Everybody in tight. From the pistol, quarterback will keep it himself. He's right at the sticks. I think Logan Baumgartner has first down yardage. That'll depend on the mark. The side judge coming in, that is going to be...
He's right on the line, so it's probably going to be...
He's eyeballing it, and the white hat says first down to bring the first quarter to a close. Indians 7, Red Raiders are driving when we come back with quarter number 2 on Zaleski Sports.
You know better when you see it.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
But sometimes it's a little harder to tell what better looks like, and you could use a little help.
Thanks, Mom.
Security Health Plan. Everything you need in a health plan. Everything you'd expect from a good neighbor.
Back to Mosinee as we begin, or get ready to begin, quarter number 2. A masseuse has showed up. Awesome. Tell you about SC Swiderski and experience the SCS difference living in an SC Swiderski apartment, offering a wide variety of rental options all throughout central Wisconsin. With SC Swiderski, you know you're in great hands. Find your comfortable, clean, and inclusive apartment at scswiderski.com. And a place I was at not that long ago here this afternoon, now into the evening, Gorski's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Mosinee looks to Gorski's for a great menu filled with great food and a relaxing atmosphere. Visit Gorski's just off I-39 in Mosinee. Back to Chris and Dan, second quarter football.
Our Zaleski Sports team hits hard at the buffet, anywhere. Bring the A game. Got a flag here. Will this be the third penalty against the Red Raiders today? It will be. This drive is the result of a turnover as Medford tries to capitalize on the first mistake of the game.
For those watching at home, feel free to drop some comments in the chat asking Jason how many meals he had there today.
Well, now, wait a minute. If you have something pleasant to say about the broadcast, by all means, we love seeing your comments.
Now we're talking.
Something otherwise, like your mother said, keep it to yourself. Back behind the sticks on 1st and 20 after the hold. Delayed handoff between the tackles, upended there.
Peyton Gillis on the carry.
Gillis.
Tackle made by number 32.
Chris, you had mentioned this game earlier today, Fox Valley Football Association game. I think you did anyway. End of the first quarter, Spash leads Marshfield 13-0.
Uh-oh.
See, we had said earlier in the Valley Football Association, the big teams, we're expecting the big 3, Rapids, Marshfield, and West, to all kind of hold serve today. But Spash may be upset-minded. Because Spash throws the ball a lot, and they've got a sophomore quarterback, so they may be a year away from better football. In fact, that's the most inexperienced Spash team. I've done 2 of their games this year. And usually it's such a big school, so you think they're going to be senior-oriented year after year after year. Not this time. Mosinee defense makes a stand here. Schreiner gets only 3 yards. 3rd and 12. Now, the Red Raiders don't have to get all of this at once. This is 4-down territory, too, so you'd be happy with a chunk of 4 or 5 and then try it again on 4th down.
Spash, I believe, needs to win their last 2 games to make the playoffs or to be playoff eligible.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, wow, a Panther team that doesn't make the playoffs, that's unusual.
backs against the wall.
For Medford here, wow, 3 receivers. So this is a new set for the Red Raiders looking to pass. Protection's good. Had the receiver underneath, instead threw to the deeper receiver. He cuts back and was still fighting. He gave back a lot of yardage after the reception.
Number 3, Jude.
4th and more manageable, I would say, here.
Yeah, Jude Stark made the catch. But Stark doesn't get forward progress on that because he cut back and tried to pick up a block on his own. Again, you can just tell the Medford passing game, it's just not their forte. It's not what the offense is built around. 4th down here. Got to pick up 7. 2 receivers low, 1 high, rolling towards the Twins. Backside pursuit throw that's caught, rolling forward. Looks like first down yardage. It is. So back-to-back pass completions from Medford keeps their drive going. Down to the 21-yard line. Medford's deepest drive of the game, trailing by 7. And boy, they get a new set of downs, and back come in the extra backs. So back to your bread and butter. 1, 2, 3 to dot the I. Handoff, first man through.
Tackle made by
5 yards on first down.
As we get further into the night, hopefully Jason's going to update us on scores on the Sports Network.
Tell you this, Medford has had success only when the extra blocking back has come in. 2-back set, Mosinee's been winning between the tackles. This 3-back set gets them a little bit more. That's Peyton Gillis. Does not quite have first down yardage. 3rd and 2.
Wisconsin Rapids 14, Appleton West nothing at the end of 1.
Rapids has been running that triple option very well this year. And Rapids, good offensive line, too, to make that all happen.
Big upset last week.
Well, someone somewhere is running the Zaleski Red Zone channel, right? We're into the red zone here, and that's bent back close, depends on the spot. Medford thinks they have the first down, and Mosinee's got some defensive players putting up all hands like they think it's 4th. So let's eyeball this across the way, and I spy with my broadcaster's eye that it is 4th down.
By the way, Zaleski Sports Red Zone, sponsored by Security Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple.
We get pulled out for big games.
4th and 1. If they could get a 4th back in the backfield, they would. Big beef here, and everybody's in tight. Got a whistle. Timeout. Let's see, Jason, do we want to step out for a timeout here as well? We will. It's 4th and 1, a big play coming up when we come back on Zaleski Sports.
Grassland Dairy Products is your match for an exciting new career today. Go to grassland.com to see the opportunities waiting for you. Browse through careers like CDL truck driver, shipping and receiving, line tech, quality assurance, forklift, maintenance tech, inventory associates, and more. Great compensation, weekly pay, and 0 premium, company-paid health, dental, and life. Apply now at grassland.com or in person at Grassland Dairy Products, Fairground Avenue, just south of Greenwood. Back to Mosinee, where the home Indians on senior night lead 7-0. Lee's Piggly Wiggly is a proud supporter of Mosinee Athletics. Be sure to stop in for all your grocery needs. Lee's Piggly Wiggly, fresh, friendly, and close to home. Back to Chris and Dan.
The Red Raiders need less than a yard. They've got the ball inside the 12-yard line. They need to get it inside the 11. They take a timeout to make sure they've got the play they want on 4th down. In the red zone. Quarterback will throw. No one's with the receiver. Breaks a tackle and a touchdown.
That's a great play call, Chris.
You know what? You probably don't have that play called unless you take the timeout. You bring everybody over and set up what you want. Everyone's in tight, and Braxton Weissmiller has the 12-yard reception. Gutsy call. Mosinee's late, Medford, beg your pardon, late getting the player into the huddle.
As you can see,
and they're going for 2 here.
An instant replay, that's a great pass.
Trying for 2 and the lead. Direct snap to the end zone. The 2-point try is good. Baumgartner carries quarterback keeper. 8-7.
Chris, interrupt here while we're in a possession change. Tell you about Best Funeral Home in Mosinee. Best Funeral Home is proud to support our Mosinee Indians high school athletics. For support, arrangements, or pre-arrangements, find all you need at bestfh.com, Best Funeral Home of Mosinee.
You know, how many times in football at all different levels do you see it's 4th and short, so everybody's in tight, and you just kind of waggle someone out to the side. They've either got one-on-one coverage or no one goes with them. You see that at the pro level. You see that in college. We just saw it here. Medford got the play in that they wanted. They roll the dice on 4th and 1, and it pays off with a touchdown. And, you know, in the championship games, too, again, whoever wins this is going to have the inside track to be conference champion this year. You shouldn't be afraid to take chances. So Medford goes for the 2-point try, and they're rewarded up the middle and have an 8-7 lead.
Well, I doubt that this is going to be an 8-7 final, so we'll see. I say that, and watch it go 8-7. But, yeah, the offenses look good.
Medford possessed the ball for more than 7 minutes. You know, they got the ball back off a Mosinee turnover. Short kick here. Fielded. Going to run this up. Boy, I want 2 hands on the biscuit there. And it's pushed back.
Yeah, and technically, those are points off turnovers.
Right. 35-yard lines where the Indians will begin. So let's see if the Indians have an answer.
Medford capitalizes on the fumble on the punt return. Turns it into 8.
Just feels like this Mosinee offense has been off the field for a long time.
Yeah, I alluded to that in the pregame, right? Medford is going to be able to sustain drives if they're going 3rd down, 4th down, and moving the chains. You don't want your defense out there all night.
Yeah, if I'm Mosinee, you know what? Can't go 3 and out. You've got to give the defense a little time to regroup. On 1st down, try to get the edge. Cuts back. Forward for 9 yards. Keegan Jershely. You know, when Jershely was last seen, had the kickoff return and fumbled on it, but was getting yardage. We've got a Medford player down back at the line of scrimmage. Which brings out the athletic trainer.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Yeah, we will step out. Our new score, Medford 8, Mosinee 7, midway second quarter on Zaleski Sports.
First things first with Mid-State Technical College. Dual credit programs earn you college credit in high school. Then choose a path that suits you. Use your skills to start your career or transfer to a university to continue your degree. Choose a new career. Transition easily and quickly by upgrading your skills. Or continue your education with dozens of classes to get you on your path. No matter your stage of the game, your first move is Mid-State Technical College.
All right, back to Mosinee and back to Chris and Dan.
Landon Vergoots was the injured player. He got up and came off under his own power. 2nd and 1, gonna throw. Over the middle, one-on-one coverage, well defended and caught. The receiver wins the battle there. Davin Staffel.
Unbelievable catch. Strong hands over his head. We're going to see that in instant replay.
Yeah, I mean, and look, the one-on-one coverage, you've got your defensive back on an island there, but the coverage is good. The receiver won the battle for the ball there.
Yeah, good coverage and just able to hold on to it over his head while being hit and dragged down.
Yeah, I don't have anything bad to say to the defensive back on that play either. Just sometimes it's an individual effort and the receiver wins. Medford's going to take a timeout.
Much more here on senior night.
Yeah, let's we'll send it over to Jason.
All right, yeah, very good. I'll tell you about Jamie Schley, American Family. Mosinee Indians fans know that's where you get the best rates and the best insurance from Jamie Schley, American Family Insurance, and Charlie's Hardware. From home projects, home repair, and lawn care to sporting goods, rental services, and automotive, no matter your need, turn to Charlie's Hardware to get the job done. They're open daily on Highway 153 on Mosinee's wonderful west side. Leave it to Charlie's Hardware because you got work to do.
Love our sponsors here at Zaleski Sports. They're the reason we're able to do this and give it out to everybody for free.
Well, they came in droves tonight. They were they recognized big game. What do they say? They're game knows game, something like that. I don't know. Kids say all kinds of stuff.
One of the nicest things is when you get into a smaller community like Mosinee, or when you go to a place like Edgar, the local businesses sense the big games and get on board. Everybody wants to support the kids. Mosinee, after the pass completion, has a first down, looking to answer a Medford touchdown. Quarterback fakes the handoff, keeps it. Davin Obremski's got 4 yards.
Score update southwest of here. Edgar 8, Auburndale nothing. Eagles need a win today to play for a conference championship next week against Colby. An Edgar win, and you've got a 3-way tie atop the Merriwood.
Edgar is pulling hard for Auburndale next week.
We'll see that in my Coach Sin's interview, but I asked him, if you win, then you got to ask Auburndale to please win next week. How do you do that conversation?
Indians are just inside the red zone. Going to pass on second down. The protection is good over the middle of the traffic. That is complete. Cradled just above the turf. Jerry Strake, sophomore to sophomore, for a first down. Quarterback threw into a lot of traffic, too. Threw a dart right in between 3 Medford defenders and was rewarded generously. So, back and forth we go. Medford scores a touchdown on a long drive, mostly ground-oriented, and the Indians are looking to answer. They've gotten this through the air. Handoff short of the goal line.
It's like he's...
Barnes Bunkelman, he's in. Across the line, touchdown. Bunkelman, 3-yard run.
Great drive by Mosinee in response to the Medford score. Medford's offense, or Mosinee's offense, is very confident tonight.
Bunkelman on senior night.
And
Just
Mosinee
got over the goal line. Mosinee tries the traditional point after.
The extra point, yep.
Noah Stencil's kick is good.
We'll have Dan take a spin around here and take a look at the replay of that catch. That was a questionable catch coming through. We'll take a look at it now.
Yeah,
that,
the ball is certainly
touchdown,
down low for sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, good catch. Good catch. Good catch.
Yeah, the back judge was all over it.
Yeah,
Happened right in front of him.
My eyes deceived me for a moment. Not anymore. Nice catch. Nice touchdown.
Dan Ross, just to my left, has a lot of officiating experience, and of course the Zebras are never wrong. They bat at least 98, 99%.
That's not what the...
what coaches, fans, announcers, everyone else believes, of course.
Not what the coaches told me back when I was side judge.
What was your batting average, Dan, on the side?
I don't want to know. Like it's better not knowing. There's a reason I don't do it anymore.
Yeah, right.
And of course, to state the obvious, the back judge is closer than we are here in the broadcast booth, and closer than our cameras are too. And he got it right. Move the ball down to the 3-yard line, and a play later, the Indians are in the end zone. So we've got a lead change, 14-8. And this is a pretty good return out to the 43-yard line, so good field position for the Raiders.
And number 4, Keegan Jersley.
Peyton Giles brings it out. Now, just with the pace of play, 5.5 left until halftime, Medford could take a good deal of the time that's left here in the first half.
I think they want all of it. As much as you can do and score at the end.
Whistle blows this play dead.
So much laundry on the field.
As we wait for the call, new to the Zaleski Sports Network, the Wapaka Comets. Wapaka at Seymour tonight, leading 22-7. All games I'm giving scores on are found live at ZaleskiSports.com.
You know, when Zaleski Sports picks up a team, like I had this experience at the beginning of the season, taking over the DC Everest broadcast, we're over at Green Bay Preble, and the number of comments that we see pop up about, wow, this is great, that it's a different world of sports coverage where you can suddenly see the video, and gee, if you don't travel, I mean, Everest over at Green Bay to start off the season, that's a long drive, and then the people and the grandparents and family members who get to see it, and the alumni too. We make a nice splash when someone joins the Zaleski Sports family.
This is your first year with Zaleski Sports, right?
Oh, this is great. Aside from, Jason assigns me to this game and then supervises me. I understand.
Yeah, there's a trust factor.
Well,
right?
if that's what's happening, I'm doing a really bad job at it.
So Chris has been on the radio for 20-some years, I believe.
Well, I've done the Everest football games for 12. I've been here in central Wisconsin for 19. And I'll tell you a little bit of a weird sports story when we get a stop here. Mosinee bends that back. It's going to be 3rd and 11. Before I came to central Wisconsin, we had a radio network that was in Stamford, Connecticut, and Norwalk, Connecticut. Stamford's got 5 high schools. Norwalk's got 4. So the game of the week was always a Stamford school against a Norwalk school, except when we didn't have one of those matchups. And I was on the number 2 crew. So only once or twice a year would I get pressed into activity when we didn't have a Stamford-Norwalk matchup. And then the teams play a rivalry game on Thanksgiving. The football season's a little bit different back east. So I would always have, late for Thanksgiving dinner, doing the Norwalk High School Brian McMahon downfield. That's caught. So suddenly we shift back to the story of this game. Tie Mets. Medford has gotten just enough through the air to keep the defense honest.
Yep.
On their scoring drive, they completed passes on 3rd and 4th down, and here's their biggest play downfield. Only thing is, this messes up the game plan of let's take as much time off as possible. I mean, this really is a tortoise and hare type game. Medford's slow and deliberate when they have the ball, and Mosinee's run defense has been pretty solid today. Gillis didn't get anything there, maybe a yard. One of the things that I would watch, too, I mean, these are smaller schools. These are not big Valley Football Association schools, so just about everyone's got to play both ways. And you want that. You want your best athletes on the field as much as possible. But there's a fatigue factor when you've got to stop the run later in the game. Mosinee's defense has been really good against the run so far. Let's see if they can keep that up in the 3rd and 4th quarters. 2nd down, forward.
Chris, you mentioned Valley Football Association. Score update back from Gerke Field and Stevens Point. Stevens Point 14, Marshfield 14. Tigers have had enough of not scoring. My Tigers, Dan.
Yeah, it's Jason's Tigers. He's, there's 9, 10 games on the network tonight. He is watching one. It's not ours.
We wish Gene Delisio the best. We understand that he's been the mayor of Marshfield, is a little under the weather.
Looks like we have an unsportsmanlike conduct.
He told me, though, Chris, this afternoon it was all right. It enabled him to spend more time with his dog today.
Dog drives me crazy.
Unsportsmanlike against Mosinee. Boy, this is a penalty that you really can't have on this part of the field. This is going to be a half the distance to the goal line, and you can see over on the sidelines a pretty detailed explanation about what happened that drew this personal foul.
Yeah, so it's going to be half the distance. It's not an automatic first down in high school, of course. That's a big difference.
I mean, you get down to this part of the field, you want your opponent to earn every yard, every inch, and here you're going to give them distance. Half the distance is not quite enough for a first down.
An online chat box. We got Bill, Marcia, Tanner, and Jordy all enjoying today's broadcast. Thank you all for watching.
And Mosinee promptly after the unsportsmanlike gets a sideline warning too.
Yeah,
that's when coach comes out on the field and has more to say about the penalty.
I know I could do that when I was officiating. And just took it. The coaches are passionate people. Yeah, I didn't see the ball really move, Chris. I don't know if they're actually going to issue a penalty here or if they're just going to give the warning.
You know what? The Mosinee, look over at the far side on the Medford coaching staff. It's a dead ball foul. They're wondering if they get to play second down again. Instead, the indicator shows third down, and I think we're going to stay with this third down, 3rd and 5.
Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln 27, Appleton West nothing. Pacelli and Iola knotted at 6. All games live at ZaleskiSports.com.
Our Zaleski crews and camera people and producers spread far and wide for Week 8. Big third down. The pile is moving forward. Medford is winning at the line of scrimmage. And this is going to be, I think, where we're going to spot it. Looking at the side judge, just short. Tucker Schreiner needed 5. He got 4.
So 4th and very short. Sounds like. What do you do here? Do you do the same thing? Do you just run it? What do you do this time, Chris?
Well, the last time that 4th down came up, swung out a pass to the flat. That's going to keep the Mosinee defense honest. Full house backfield. And
they got him.
Spins forward. Let's see where the spot's going to be here. Mosinee thinks they've got a hold. And they do. All the way down to the 12-yard line, and then a stop on 4th and 1. That's the defensive play of the game so far. So Mosinee's lead is still good, and they get the ball back. And you know, the Indians, quick strike team, able to throw the ball downfield, 2.5 minutes and all 3 timeouts.
It didn't look like he even got back to the line on that.
Tell you what's been making this game interesting? The Mosinee defense is better than I thought they would be. They've been solid. That ball is loose. It's fumbled, and it's near the goal line. And they're going to say Medford ball.
What a turn of events.
Boy, oh boy. Medford's going to take over. Was it recovered in the end zone, or it's going to be marked right at the 1?
Looked like it's real close.
Medford's 1 touchdown came after a turnover at midfield, and boy, this is just outside the goal line.
Ball will be marked at the 5-yard line.
We put it at the 5. Long look for us. Old eyes and a long look, 1st and goal after a Mosinee fumble. Medford gets it right back to the goal line, and a touchdown. 5-yard touchdown run, 1 play after an Indians turnover.
Yeah, it looked like the handoff was successful, but after first contact, the ball just came out.
Yeah, that's the wrong spot on the field to be careless with the football. The touchdown ties us at 14 apiece because Medford has a successful 2-point try from earlier in the game. Going for 2 again. Got to throw for it to the flat. Diving, led him too far. 2-point try fails.
Medford 14, Mosinee 14.
We got a game, Chris.
A game for sure that's going to be decided in the second half.
Okay, we'll take a 30-second break here from Nicolet Bank. Be back to Mosinee right after this on Zaleski Sports.
At Nicolet Bank, we believe that our hometown communities are the backbone of what makes Wisconsin special. From Crivets to Manitowoc and Algoma to Grand Chute, you see a thriving community with Nicolet Bank working as a partner, acting not as a corporation, but a community. When we serve together with local entrepreneurs and leaders, great things happen. That is our guiding principle. A strong and successful hometown means a strong and successful Wisconsin. We are proud to be a part of that. Nicolet Bank. Real people, real conversations.
Back to Mosinee. We're all knotted up at 14. Nicolet Bank offers personal banking that works for you, with offices located in Stevens Point, Wausau, Colby, Medford, Edgar, Merrill. Nicolet Bank, and big supporter of Mosinee Indians football as well. Nicolet Bank, back to Chris and Dan.
I'm Chris Conley along with Dan Ross and Jason Zaleski. The good teams make you pay for your mistakes. Mosinee fumbles at the 5-yard line. Medford's in the end zone one play later. Indians have time if they want to press the issue, and why not?
Yeah, 2 turnovers the last 3 possessions.
Returned by number 32.
I think if you're both coaches, you're kind of okay with where you're at in the game. I mean, obviously, the Mosinee coaching staff probably feels like they should be up a touchdown, maybe 2 touchdowns. Medford's happy to be where they're at, but both teams, this is definitely a second-half game tonight.
Medford gets the ball after halftime, so the Indians probably in go mode here, and their offense has been able to get the chunk plays. Going to pass on first down. Settles underneath. The quarterback checked down to his second receiver, and it's down at the feet of Davin Stoffel, incomplete.
Score update from Clark County. Stratford 22, Spencer Columbus nothing. Stratford trying to get to next week against Amherst at home in Marshfield. That's a whole other story. But that would be a conference title game. You'll see both those games tonight and next week live on Zaleski Sports.
After the incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. Protection's good again. That pass is low. Gonna say that's a catch? I'm not sure about that.
No, I think they called it incomplete.
Incomplete. Yeah, that's the way I saw that. Thought he cradled that, but that hit the turf first.
Yeah, kind of skipped in.
2 incomplete passes to start this drive, 3rd and 10.
Yeah, you feel like you have to run some clock or at least have Medford take a timeout here to stop it after this play.
Third down conversion to be just what the doctor ordered for these Indians. Extra man coming, steps away from the blitz. Quarterback on the run, throws at the sticks.
Looked like it skipped in again.
Yeah, that's low, incomplete. Quarterback absorbed a big hit.
Yeah, so
Mosinee took exactly 20 seconds off the clock on 3 incomplete passes. Going to have to give up the football here.
Yeah, 3 and out, 20 seconds. Not really what the Mosinee coaching staff wanted to do with this possession.
And like we said, Medford gets the ball after halftime, so they'll be playing with house money when they get the ball here. Like a bonus possession to see if the Red Raiders want to do something with this. And may get pretty good field position out of it, too. Snap is good. Kick is away. Tumbling kick fielded at the 37.
Ooh.
And a big hit across the 40.
Number 8 on the return is Tucker Kramer. Tackled by number
Tucker
57,
Kramer.
Ian Minowski.
Kramer's not the biggest kid. Did a good job to hold on to that and absorb a big hit.
If I was a good color guy, it'd be bam, boom.
Right. Like the old Adam West Batman cartoons. Zowie.
Good thing there's no telestrator up here. I'd be drawing things all the time. That would last one game before I was told that I was no longer welcome on the broadcast.
Don't worry, our Zaleski sports broadcasts get more and more sophisticated each year. The down and distance line and the telestrator may not be far off.
That's a good idea.
Jason's making a note just to my right. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Wow, there was a seam that opened and then quickly closed. Davin Stoffel came up and made a good stop. Jude Stark gets 3 yards.
Yeah, and I believe that he plays the secondary. He's quick up there in the hole.
And Medford is just looking like they're content to stay at 14-14. They're huddling up. Broke the huddle kind of fast. Well, here's a 4-receiver package. Trips up high. All that does is spread out the defense a little bit. Schreiner carries and gains 2.
Maybe Mosinee takes a timeout.
We're going to be under a minute to play by the time Mosinee snaps this. Late first half.
If this was at the next level, we'd be conserving timeouts and trying to get the ball back because you'd be able to strike pretty quick. But both teams are pretty content on getting warm in the locker room.
For people here at Mosinee, marching band and cheerleaders will entertain at halftime. Jerry Sins, our halftime guest. Yes, sir.
Unless what we see on the field turns out to be better.
He's going to have his own table at that Edgar family restaurant for sure.
Dang right.
I believe that he's known by first name, Coach. Good to see you again.
Yep. All over the town of Edgar. He's one of those guys where if he wanted to be mayor, he could be mayor.
Well, he kind of is just anyway. While we are in the timeout, Crystal Finishing Systems is a family-owned business now hiring for both their Weston and Mosinee locations, with openings in manufacturing, fabrication, management, customer service, and so much more. Join the Crystal Finishing team. Learn more at crystalfinishing.com.
After the timeout, it'll be 3rd and 5.
Only 38 seconds left.
Yeah, Medford would like the first down just because keeping the ball in the hands of your offense is less risky late in the half than trying to punt it away. A punt, all kinds of things can go wrong. Bad snap, block, big kickoff return.
Yeah, if Mosinee doesn't stop it, I don't think they have to run another play.
3rd and 5.
Got a throw, incomplete. So the punt team will indeed come out with 35 ticks remaining.
I'm a little surprised by that. I mean, if that's complete, maybe the receiver makes a move and all of a sudden you're down inside the 30 and you have thoughts about maybe going for it. But
no, I agree. That's a low yardage play. You're kind of betting that maybe your receiver breaks a tackle and makes something out of nothing.
Yeah.
But the pass was short enough that it's a nothing. And now you do have to punt.
Well, the last punt that Medford had, they got the ball back, so.
Got the kick away, so that's mission number 1, fair catch.
On the change of possession, I'll tell you, my Tigers now lead in Stevens Point, 21-14. 21 unanswered for Marshfield.
Good comeback. Marshfield's got a good team this year.
I thought when we saw them, now that was a Marshfield game. So it was the first time in 12 years on a Friday night that I'm watching a football game from the stands, just hanging out with the Everest parents. And by the way, that was tons of fun. But Marshfield's got a great offensive line, probably the best downfield blocking team that I've seen this season.
Quick offensive lineman, relatively speaking.
Yeah, you know what? And that's kind of the model. Not big, but give me someone mobile, move left to right. Got a throw here, too long. So Mosinee's not willing to sit on the football late in the first half.
We got man coverage everywhere. I mean, might as well go for it.
Joining the broadcast in the chat box, Bob and Marcia. Bob would like us to hopefully expand and include more GNC games. Dan, from now on, you're going to Northland Pines. Good luck.
They're not in the GNC for football.
Okay. Well, we'll ship you off to Rhinelander then.
Yeah, Hodags, T-Birds, Hayward.
Yeah, Ashland, go be with the Ordockers, please.
Going to keep the ball on the ground. There's room up the middle, still going across midfield, down the sidelines. Boy, the speed got a block, and it's going to break it. My goodness. Gavin Umbreski, the quarterback. It was the block downfield around the 30-yard line that allowed him to stay in bounds and got him into the end zone.
No flags on the field. It looked like there was one block that was kind of iffy, and the side judge kept it in. Kept the flag in his pocket.
There's an 80-yard touchdown run.
Couple broken tackles. That is Selesky Sports' top 10 highlight of the night.
See that Saturday morning in the Highlight House.
Indeed.
And boy, the Medford defense got to be kicking themselves. Just trying to get to halftime, and they give up points. The kick is good, and our new score is 21-14 Indians.
Replay here, made available by Security Health Plan. Promises kept plain and simple, and then I go and screw it up, right? Here, let's do that again. Chick. There we go, Dan. There's your instant replay brought to you by Security Health Plan.
It's a good cut, broken tackle right here.
Right, and you think that he's going to be escorted out of bounds, and There. I think I'm okay with that.
Pretty clean. Yeah, pretty clean.
Yes, the one late, yeah, that's a good no call.
Yeah, good touchdown.
I give Ombreski credit, too, because you could have just stepped out of bounds there, and then you need another play or two with very little time left. Looked like he was situation aware and said, I've got to go for the pylon, and he made it.
80-yard play, that was... You know what? That's not on my bingo card. That wasn't. Not there. And this is interesting. They're teeing up from the left hash.
Wait a minute. You've got a bingo card? Nobody gave me
Absolutely.
one. Absolutely. Oh, okay.
Travis Wilson gives it to us.
No. Oh, that's right.
A false start.
Yeah, false start.
Travis Wilson.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Yeah, he has a weekly bingo card that he gives out to everybody. It's more comical than anything. I saw one of the squares was crooked yard lines, so you can mark that off if you see a crooked yard line out there.
These are good yard lines here.
Yeah, very well done. Very well done. We have been some places where obviously they painted half of it and realized that they're about a half yard off, so it kind of veers off.
At my high school, Andrew Ward High School in Fairfield, Connecticut, it was the tipsy custodian staff that marked the field. And the 50-yard line kind of veered to the left as soon as you got to the near sideline. Let's see if this will actually get us to halftime. Stacked up, the clock continues to run. And with 2 seconds left, Medford is going to have to run a play. So, I mean, inside of 3 minutes to go in the first half, we see 2 more touchdowns. A fumble back at the 5-yard line, a play later, Medford's in the end zone. Didn't convert the 2-point try, so made it 14-14. Mosinee gets the ball back, not content to just run out the clock, and gets a big run that started off with yardage up the middle and then busted to the far sideline. 80 yards to pay dirt. 21-14 Indians, and this will be the final play of the first half. Mosinee's got to love where they are in this game now. Medford gets the kick to start the third quarter. Edgar coach Jerry Sins at halftime. Week 8 high school football on Zaleski Sports.
All right, as we head to our halftime, we'll tell you about Paper City Lanes, 8 lanes of bowling, hot food, cold drinks. Have your next birthday or special event at Paper City Lanes in Mosinee. Halftime here. Back for more in about 15 on Zaleski Sports.
On just an absolutely gorgeous night. Second down and 11. They pitch it the right side. They're going to try to get the corner now. Cutting it back. That's Butt. He breaks through, makes a cut, makes another cut, and he's off to the races.
Time now for the Jerry Sin Show. Recorded at Edgar Family Restaurant in Edgar. And sponsored by Security Health Plan. Security Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple. Visit securityhealth.org today. Welcome to the Jerry Sin Show, sponsored by Security Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple, here at the Edgar Family Restaurant. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski, here with Edgar football head coach Jerry Sins. Coach notched another win on the season, 28-8 over Pittsville. We talked last week about the Panthers being a defensive-minded team, and I think you found that out. The yards and touchdowns were hard to come by. We knew offensively they had some challenges, but defensively, we thought it would be a challenging game, and early on especially, their defense was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good game. They're pretty athletic, good size, probably as big as us or bigger, and we had some breaks, I thought, early. I mean, I don't know if their guy attempted this onside kicker, if it just went that way, but he kicked to start the game, and it was coming right toward our sideline, in fact, right by me, and it certainly looked like it was going to go out of bounds. And so I'm yelling, get away, get away. And the ball got about a half a foot from the sideline, bounced straight up in the air, fell and laid right there in bounds. And they had a guy flying down the sideline, and he dove on it. But I noticed, of course, because it was right by me, that when he dove on it, he was out of bounds himself. And so then I told the official, sir, he was out of bounds. He recovered that ball, he was out of bounds. And so then they got together and they looked at it, and I didn't know it was taking so much time. Well, lo and behold, the poor guy who made a great play, he got a 15-yard penalty then, too, for being the first guy to touch the ball in bounds when he came from out of bounds And I don't think I've ever seen that rule called in 48 years of coaching in high school. I see it on TV once in a while in the pros and a punt or something.
Right.
So we not only got the ball back, but we got a 15-yard penalty on top of it, which was a huge break to start the game, because it could have been their ball on like the 30-yard line going in. Instead, it's our ball out at the 45 or 6. And then I believe there was a turnover that was involved in there too, right before half. We actually scored with 5 seconds left in the half. To go, it was 14-0. I think we went up 21-0 then, so it was 21-0 at half. But you know, scoring with 5 seconds left was kind of a fortunate thing too.
2 weeks ago, Tegan Strite had a pretty nice game passing, 4 for 10 this week, but yet you piled up almost 260 yards. At what point during that game did you decide, you know what, we're better off just kind of sticking on the ground and just grinding these guys, you know, just grinding this one out?
Well, yeah, we talked about it at halftime to try to just take time off the clock if we could, you know, and play some, you know, ball possession stuff. And so we did that fairly well. We also wanted to get our other backs some carries because they don't have many. I think we still ended up with all 3 of our running backs all had less than 10 carries. I mean, I think a couple of them had 9, one guy had 8 or whatever. Yep. And we keep talking every week about getting them more carries, but for some reason it just never happens. I don't know. So those are things that we're working on. Once again, as you get later in the season and it gets cold and it gets wet, well, you got to carry the ball more. You got to run more because it becomes difficult to pass if it's windy and cold.
On the other side, they rushed 31 times, so they rushed almost as many. You had 35 attempts, they had 31, yet they had 201 yards less rushing than you. How was your defense able to solve their running game?
Well, we've been playing pretty good rush defense all year, and once again, because we do have some fairly experienced guys back on defense, so that's one thing. I guess other than the Colby game where we, you know, didn't necessarily play that good, but other than that, yeah, we've been playing fairly well in that, and I thought we did it again in the Pittsfield game, and hopefully we can continue to improve on that. We've been shuffling guys in yet in the defensive line, trying to rest guys and so on. But overall, yeah, our 3 linebackers are all pretty experienced, so that helps too.
Let up a touchdown in the 4th quarter. Anybody have any hard feelings about that?
Oh, my wife, you know, probably. But other than that, I don't know that. You know, we had some backups in there at that time. It was actually it was a contested play. A sophomore defensive back of ours, Will Hack, went up and fought with the guy for the ball, and we didn't know if it was an interception or a touchdown, but they called it dual possession, and then dual possession goes to the offense. So
right.
That was what happened in the end.
Yeah, 32-yard touchdown reception there at the very end of the game. So 28-8 final score. We talked about this last week too. Pittsfield came in probably a better team on paper than what their record shows. You saw them up close in person. They were in the Marywood a number of years ago, had left for a couple of years for the Central Wisconsin, now back. This year, in that Central Wisconsin Conference, Pittsfield's probably the second best team in that conference, probably going to the playoffs, but the Marywood, as a conference top to bottom, a whole different deal than some of the other conferences in the area.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty good. You know, I really did. Like I said, they had decent size, speed, everything. You know, we couldn't really detect any weaknesses they had anywhere. We were maybe a little faster than them, and you know, might have helped us a few times. And I thought we punted fairly well again and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, they're a pretty solid team.
Yeah, your win was one of the largest margin of victories that they have had this year. So they played in some close games. A nice win. Their coach 28-8 over Pittsfield last week. Now we move to Auburndale. These Cats got something going on down in Auburndale. Eagles, I guess I should say, right? 76-0, 62-0, 35-0. 29-8, 50-22, 49-6. Auburndale's a tough football team.
Yeah, they're very experienced. They're pretty much big everywhere. You know, even like their defensive backs are good sized guys, you know, 6'2", 190-pound guys and so on. Receivers are big guys. Their quarterback, who's extremely talented, is one of their smaller players at, you know, maybe 6 feet, 165 or whatever. But overall, yeah, they just pretty much have good guys everywhere, offense, defense. Their punter has a great leg. He booms them high and long, and their return men are experienced. So you can't really detect any weaknesses on their team.
Yeah, quarterback Trayton Weber, 800 yards passing on the season. That's a lot, through 5-6 games. They had a forfeit win in there somewhere. Five games in conference, I should say. 8-0 overall. That's pretty good. Passing to Tim Schmidt, 235 yards receiving. Aiden Cherney's got over 200 yards receiving. Weber on the ground, 640 yards. So these guys get it done offensively. Tackling wise, I know you've maybe complained you've had some issues tackling during the season, but I think that's gotten better as the seasons went on. But your tackling will need to be really good on Friday night.
Yeah, they present probably the most varied offensive attack that we've seen thus far this year. They don't really care whether they run it or pass it. They'll just do whichever one they think is working the best, and they're they're very good at both of them. And of course, Weber is the guy that's leading them both. He runs the ball just as well as he throws it, and he throws it really well. So he's certainly going to be a tough guy to contend with.
As far as road games are concerned, you haven't had many this year. This is I suppose your third or your fourth? Third, yeah, only the third. And up until the playoffs, it will be just 3 on the regular season. Going to be a big crowd. You'll bring a crowd. I call them innocent bystanders in the area that maybe don't watch a football game. They're going to show up to this kind of game. And of course, you're going to have the whole town of Auburndale there. So you're going to have a lot of people watching. You and the guys ever talk about that when you're on the road, and especially now this year where there's so few road games? But this is going to be the biggest crowd you've played in front of. Do you mention that to your guys and how to stay with, let's just play the game right here in the field, not worry about what's going on in the bleachers?
No, I don't really think they notice it much, to tell you the truth. I know I certainly don't as a coach. I'll talk to fans after the game, and they'll be commenting on what was said in the crowd, or this or that, and I never heard that. I don't pay any attention to what the other student fans were yelling or any of these kinds of things. And I don't think our players play much different home or away. Last year we had 6 games on the road and only 3 at home, and I think we play about equally well either place. I think when you go on the road, you're a little more focused in because you have that bus trip where everybody's together for a half an hour. And at home, maybe they're a little more relaxed and whatever. And then on the road, maybe a little more focused. So I think it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be a big crowd, and that'll be fun.
It will be a big crowd. I can see that coming from a mile away. The weather's going to be for the first Saturday, or is it the second Saturday or Friday in October? The weather's pretty good on Friday night. No rain in the forecast. You're going to get, like I say, those innocent bystanders out there. Those curious onlookers are going to make the drive. It is a short bus ride. You mentioned that. Just the 30 minutes on the bus. Is that a quiet bus ride there, or do you take the opportunity to talk to your guys on the way down?
No, it's pretty quiet. We talk a little. They're basically just kind of studying game information sheets and stuff like that on the way down. If we had video on the bus like you do if you take Greyhound, so then we'd probably review a little video on the bus, but we don't. So yeah, they just do that. And on the way home, depending on win, lose, whatever, the bus might be a little louder on the way home, but it's pretty quiet on the way to games.
If you happen to win on the field afterwards with Coach Jay Anderson, you're going to have to tell him to beat Colby the next week to get yourself a share of the conference title. But all that will come after the game, and I'm sure Jay would welcome that encouragement if you happen to win the game. But this is going to be a tough one. Auburndale, a D6 team, so they're a level above you. Playoff seeding. It looks like you're pretty close to. If you were to falter on Friday night and perhaps drop that game, we might be looking at just one home playoff game and then on the road in that level too. So it's a pretty important game for a lot of reasons. Any consideration into that?
Well, we're just talking about the conference now, basically. With the players, and just as you said, if we could be fortunate enough to pull out a win on Friday, well then we certainly have to hope that Auburndale could beat Colby the following Friday, and we could beat Marathon, which would be our senior night, because all those games should be pretty tough. contested games. And of course, that would give a guy a share of the title. And with an 8-1 record, if we shared, the Merriwood title, I assume we'd get seated fairly high.
I would assume so. Strength of schedule listings came out. WIAA is starting to reveal more of the seeding process, the seeding math. We think we know what it is, and we've done some tests, and it looks like we're pretty close on it, if not exact. They've got you as the strength of schedule 82nd toughest schedule in the state. So pretty tough schedule. This will add to that, and that strength of schedule is a big lump of that pie, big section of the pie for seeding process. So we look forward to the game. Tom King pregame show at 6:50. Again, you're going to be at the game anyway, but if you're not able to get there, Tom King 6:50 pregame. Kickoff is at 7 at Auburndale. So get down there. Probably standing room only. If you don't get there, I would think by 6:45 you're gonna wear out your shoes walking and standing over in the corner somewhere. But it'd be a nice night to get out. So get down there and watch these guys play. Lastly, Coach, Packers are in England on Sunday. 8:30 a.m. for us kickoff. What are some strategies to waking up that early in the morning to watch a football game?
Yeah, we had to play at State a couple times when we dropped to Division 7 at 10 a.m. and I didn't really like it. It was a lot more fun playing at 1. Yeah. It's hard to get high school kids fired up at 10 a.m., even if it's for a state championship game. Yeah. And so I don't know what the Packers, plan necessarily is. We actually have confirmation in town this weekend for some of our kids, and that's at 11 o'clock. So I'll get to watch half the Packer game before church this week, so it'll work out okay.
Some of the kids might be, or the grown-ups too, might be a little bleary-eyed, especially if they were at a wedding or something the night before, and get up and Packers kickoff at 8:30. So interesting. They said it's the first time in this London series that two teams playing both have winning records. Both the Giants and the Packers are 3-1. They say that's never happened before. Of course, they've sent some of the bottom of the NFL over there to play, but two teams with winning records. So look forward to that as well.
Yeah, it should be good. Should be a good game.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Good luck on Friday at Auburndale.
Thank you very much, Jason.
Right. That'll do it for this edition of the Jerry Sin Show, sponsored by Secure the Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple. We'll see you again next week. All right, back to Mosinee as halftime just finishing up. We're about to start our 3-minute warm-up. One score update for you, a score that has gone final. Kickoff was in Webster at 5 p.m. It's the Assumption Royals 55 and the Webster Tigers nothing. That game broadcast compliments of the We Are Network. Most other games around the Zaleski Sports Network are at halftime like we are, with the exception of Auburndale. And it's Edgar 8, Auburndale 6 as they are in the third quarter. We'll turn it back to Chris Conley. We've got 2.5 minutes before second half kickoff.
Well, Medford's got 14 points on the scoreboard, and both came off of Mosinee turnovers, a drive that started around midfield. Then Mosinee turned the ball over back at the 5-yard line. Medford was in the end zone one play later. But give Mosinee a lot of credit. Come right back onto the field with the offense. It's late in the first half, and instead of just running out the clock, right up the middle, there's a lot of yardage for the quarterback, Gavin Ombreski, and takes it all the way into the end zone, an 80-yard run. So we've had some lead changes. I think one of the things that stands out to me is that Mosinee's defense has been good between the tackles. Medford has found the yards hard to come by just in the middle of the field when they've had the football. And one of the narratives before this game was, well, Medford's bigger. Medford's going to be able to run the ball. Medford has found it more difficult to get those yardage that their whole team and their whole offense is based around. That's been a difference in the ballgame right now.
Yeah, it has been to this point. I would suspect, Chris, that a lot of the talk in that Medford halftime huddle was about that. Let's get back to what we do, and let's get the run game. It is just a one-score game here to start the second half.
It sure is a game that lends itself to halftime adjustments, too. Mm-hmm. Medford's done better when they brought in that third blocking back, so maybe the coaches huddle up at halftime and say, we're going to run more of that and see if we can stay true to who we are. Mosinee's offense has shown big play potential.
It
And
sure
when they've
has.
been able to throw the ball, they've been rewarded then. So Medford's got perhaps a defensive adjustment to make too. Do you want to send more pressure, try to get to the quarterback? I thought Mosinee's offensive line has been doing a good job giving Umbreski time to throw.
Yeah, they certainly have. It's been a fun game to watch, just a one-score game as we head into the second half. Before we do, Mosinee Family Chiropractic is your locally owned complete health and wellness center. Dr. Bars and Dr. Miller offer excellent care to improve your quality of life and get you back to doing what you love. For the best chiropractic care you can find, look to Mosinee Family Chiropractic. Good luck, Mosinee football. Back to Dan and Chris.
I know we said earlier, not always do big games lead up to the hype. This one has. This is going to be, tell me how this game ends. The game really does hang in the balance as we get ready to kick off the second half.
Yeah, 14 points for Medford, all off of Mosinee turnovers. That's kind of the big story of the game. Medford having to go short field, especially for the second one. In a perfect world, Mosinee might be sitting on the sidelines thinking, we're kind of throwing a shutout here, right? Just stubbing our own toes a little bit.
Sure, and one of the things to look at in the second half, can one of these teams get up by 2 scores? I mean, Medford particularly is not a team that's designed to come from behind. So, if Mosinee somehow gets a defensive stop to start the half and then puts points on the scoreboard, they would love the spot that they'd find themselves in then.
Yeah, absolutely. In the warm-up, you mentioned about how Medford was so successful with what I would say the jumbo set, right? You have extra blockers in. I do think that Medford's going to come out this possession and really try to dictate the pace for the second half right away.
Right, their heavy package, third running back, they've had some success with that. Bouncing kickoff. Crazy bounce, got to get on top of this. The Indians have it. I think Mosinee's got that football, and they do.
That's unbelievable.
Mosinee's kick is recovered by number 85.
The gods of the grass smile on Mosinee. My goodness.
That's a 40-yard onside kick recovery.
You could just tell that ball kind of popped up and then took another skip. It was the kind of ball that's hard to get on top of, and the Indians, here is the opportunity to go up by 2 scores. They'll start at the 16-yard line. Umbreski from the pistol. Handoff, there's a big defensive stop. Bunkelman met right at the line of scrimmage. Logan Kawa gave him the big bear hug. 2nd and 10.
This would be a big stop for Medford. Because, going down 2 scores with that Medford offense, just not what they're used to doing. It's not what they're best at.
Right, but it's only a big blunder if you come away with points. Receiver goes across the formation, throws to one-on-one coverage, high, lofting ball, incomplete.
Gavin Obremski's pass intended for number 3, Gavin Stoffel, is incomplete.
Stoffel has a touchdown reception in the first quarter, like the one-on-one coverage.
That was a good throw. It looked like it was maybe just a little bit too far. And Stoffel did a good job to run underneath it. The pass was floating in the air. You kind of throw at a spot and threw right at it and just almost good enough.
3rd and 10. Again, twins to either side. Quarterback, pistol, one man behind him. Rollout. Protection's good, looking back the other way, throws the middle, contact there, no flag.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting. Looking at the extra points so far, probably don't have anything more than 25 yards being able to kick it, so they might just go for this. It would be about a 32, 33-yarder from here, and it's too far.
What I've noticed from high school football, too, that when the weather gets colder, it's just harder to kick the ball. It's like kicking a bowling ball, it almost seems like.
Yeah.
As you get further back, the longer kicks don't work. So you'll go on 4th and 10 here. Good protection over the middle, a lot of contact, no flag. I thought maybe the defensive back was engaged with Stoffel there, but it's not enough. The throw led him too far, almost intercepted. So the botched kick to start the half does not hurt Medford.
The Medford coaching staff is ecstatic after that.
Yeah, that's an opportunity that Mosinee did not cash in on. So we stay at 21-14.
Took a look at the replay there, guys. Medford defender just had good position.
Yeah, I think it probably wasn't the right read from what I saw. Looked like there was a receiver open on the other side.
Again, between the tackles, the Mosinee defense has been stout.
Gillis on the carry, tackle made by number 3, Gavin Stoffel.
Gillis kind of spun forward. Second and 5.
Marshfield has now scored 28 unanswered. They lead the Spash Panthers 28-14 third quarter.
So Spash right now has won one game on the field, gets a forfeit from Wausau East. Stevens Point could be just a 2 or 3 win team this season. Between the tackles, first down. Schreiner carries.
Jason's fangirling over here.
The other VFA game on the network today, Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln 35, Appleton West nothing, third quarter.
We don't have a camera on him. He's actually wearing the Marshfield Tigers head.
I wear it to bed normally. I brought it with me early today. Thank you.
Yeah.
New set of downs for the Red Raiders. Hole closed pretty quickly for Peyton Gillis. Gillis has 6 on first down.
He has 6 on the play, bring up in second and 4.
The T-Birds up 14-7.
Never heard of her.
Yeah.
This right here is an interesting drive in the game. Again, Mosinee gets a short field after the fumble on the opening kick and gets nothing. Through 1, 2, 3, 4 incomplete passes. Medford's now driving and a potential to tie up the ball game. This is going to be short of first down yardage by about 1.5 yards.
CWC small action. We said Assumption over Webster non-conference. That was 55-0. Game live right now on Zaleski Sports. Pacelli 19, Iola 6.
3rd and 1. Ball's at the 40, need the 41, quickly up to the line of scrimmage. Heavy package again. First down. And more. Now, Schreiner, I thought, was content to fall forward for just 1 yard or 2, keeps his feet, and gets 15 yards.
Yeah, tried to tackle him a little bit too high there, and he was able to run out of the attempted tackle and tack on another 20 yards.
Back to that CWC small. Highlights coming of this game later tomorrow morning. It's Loyal 44, Roshold 0, second half.
1, 2, third man through. And a gain of 4 yards on first down.
Peyton Gillis on the carry.
Peyton Gillis.
By number 1, Aiden Shaughnessy.
I have a weather update for us.
It's gotten colder than when we've kicked off. That's
cold.
for sure.
It's cold.
Hold on. Before that, Dan, we got free cheeseburgers in the press box.
Oh, well, I just paid for cheeseburgers. For the
That's
team.
the whole idea.
Yeah.
I was joking with some of my DC Everest friends because, again, they've lost a home game tonight because Milwaukee Science Academy canceled on them, which means only 3 home games, which means free hot dogs and hamburgers. I think people who volunteer at the concession stand can take a pack home with them at the end of the season. Schreiner is going to be short of the first down. 3rd and 2 coming up here. This has been a nice drive for the Medford Red Raiders.
Tell Everest to send some hot chocolate down here. Mosinee was throwing a no-hitter. They're throwing a perfect game and then ran out of hot chocolate. It's like you walk 2 guys and give up a 3-run jack, and all of a sudden you take the L.
Right, on a night like this, we're not as interested in ice-cold Gatorade or soft drinks. We want the Nestle, please, the hot cocoa. Gonna roll out, a lot of room on the far side. Wow, quarterback probably could have gotten the edge there. Instead, cut back and may have caught himself some yardage. No problem. Baumgartner keeps, and it's more than enough to move the chains.
Yardage is enough for a Medford 1st and 10.
Yep, kind of winning the trenches right now.
At the 27-yard line of Mosinee.
CWC large score, Stratford 35, Spencer Columbus 0.
Who does Amherst have tonight?
Amherst is at Manawa. And that game will be on tape delay tomorrow. Manawa Internet is poo, I'm being told.
Okay.
Official term.
Trying to get the corner here. Mosinee did a good job denying the edge, maybe lost a yard. I'm not sure if Schreiner got back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10.
It's a great time of year. This is week 8. We got one week left, and then we'll have brackets out, and we're going to have playoff football, playoff volleyball.
Yeah, playoff or volleyball seed meetings on Sunday.
All right.
Yeah, you talk to all the seniors, and they always say the same thing. It went by so fast. It doesn't feel like we're in week 8 already, and yet here we are. Got a throw, pass complete. Coverage was soft, still going. Into the red zone.
Seymour closes the gap. They host Wapaka 29, Seymour 15.
Tucker Kramer with the reception.
We know Rapids is up. We know Marshfield's up. How about we probably have nothing on Wausau West, I would imagine.
Yeah, those are the big 3 that are in contention for the Valley Football Association title. So a champion won't be crowned probably until week 9.
Got a feeling we're going to see 3 titles.
The Wausau West DC Everest game becomes interesting. But West will have, they'll need that win if they want to share.
Yeah, West tonight hosting Hortonville, and Tom Field is known as the black hole of video broadcasts.
7-0, fourth quarter.
West slim lead.
Yep.
Okay.
Right, West needs that to make their week 9 game against the Evergreens meaningful.
Mr. Chad Holmes on the call.
I've obviously run into Chad a lot at high school games, and one of life's ironies is he is the longtime voice of Wausau West sports. DC Everest alum. Tries to get the corner here, cut back. Mosinee defense comes up with a play for a loss.
Yeah, good play. Looks like maybe he lost the yard. Yeah.
Yeah, back to the 13-yard line. Time-consuming drive, halfway through quarter number 3.
So, goal to go from the 13 now.
Medford needs points. 3rd down play coming up, so this is a moment in tonight's game. Design rollout pressure and almost a sack. Wow, he's slippery.
Yeah, should have been back by about the 20-yard line.
Ball will be just outside the 5-yard line. Going to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, you go for it. High school football. Sports.
So if the 3rd down play was a moment, here comes a bigger moment. Trailing by a touchdown, 4th and goal, going for it.
Love it.
Who wins the line here? This is about technique and who can keep the pads lowest. Got a throw on 4th down, roll the dice, end zone traffic too tall. And the Indians defense holds. Their 7-point lead is still good.
Good looking throw, just overshot the receiver a little bit.
On the change of possession, we will remind you the Pit Stop Bar and Grill is where Mosinee meets for good food, good company, and good times. Located right in the heart of Mosinee, the Pit Stop Bar and Grill, the local hotspot, open 7 days a week.
We talked a little bit about this, that these homecoming games, it used to be that homecoming you'd schedule a lesser opponent.
A bad opponent, right.
Yeah, but that's not happening in Wausau West. It's their homecoming, and not that they're overlooking anyone, but we've seen this all throughout the season, that homecoming home teams struggle.
My senior year in high school, we were the homecoming guest for 4 of our road games. That tells you everything you need to know about the level of football we were playing. 5 yards on the run. So that was a drive for Medford that started back at the 15. They get all the way down to the 5-yard line. I mean, that's 90 yards of field position, but roll snake eyes on 4th down and get no points. Trying to get the corner here. Jersley's got speed, couldn't quite turn it upfield. Where will they mark this? A lot of east to west running for no gain.
No gain, but he ran about 35 yards.
That's good defensive pursuit. Jersley's probably the fastest player on the field, and yet they didn't let him get the corner, and it brings up third down. In fact, they spotted him back for a loss of 1. Gonna pass. Protection's good. Complete.
Good stop.
Gavin Lebrinsky's pass is completed to number 20, Ethan Dinesha.
Oh, they got a first down, looks like.
Yep, Dinesha, good job getting to the sticks, but before you turn towards your quarterback, you want to make sure you're deep enough, and he was.
Looks like there's just over 3 minutes left. At what point does the clock start becoming an issue?
Out to the 24-yard line after taking over at the 5. Mosinee hasn't used the ground game all that much.
Harris on the carry.
Well, to Dan's point, though, definitely a fast-moving third quarter here.
Gain of 2 on the play, bring up 2nd and 8.
I know it's the wrong sport, but watch the Cardinals blow game 1 in the 9th inning today. Just felt good.
Yeah.
Felt so good.
Yeah. No hard feelings there.
This does not feel like baseball playoff weather, does it?
No.
Dodgers and Padres are in the mix, so we do have some warm weather cities. But what about Yankees, Cardinals? Downfield, this is underthrown and incomplete.
And as the Indians retreat back to the line of scrimmage, we'll tell you about Varney Brothers. Freshen up your kitchen with new countertops, islands, or cabinets. Look to Varney Brothers Kitchen and Bath to bring the kitchen you have in mind to life. Consultants are free, so don't wait. That's Varney Brothers Kitchen and Bath.
If the Baseball World Series goes to a 7th game, Game 7 would be on November 4th.
It sounds cold.
The various sports simply do not stay in their lanes, do they? You opened up the hockey season just a couple of days ago. Basketball, which has a off-season that I think lasts 2.5 weeks. It's getting ready to start up again. This pass is complete. Hop step, gets extra yardage, race to the end zone, down to the 20-yard line, and the ball is out. Gonna say he's down. Wyatt Harris.
Big play.
Tell you what, in this game, tell me that all the big plays are in Mosinee's column.
All the big yardage plays.
Yep. Flips the field on that big play.
Yeah, just a little screen pass and a broken tackle and a cut inside and off to the races. Good blocking downfield by the Indians.
While Medford may be bigger, Mosinee's got faster kids, and that's shown at times in this game too. Just inside the 20, 1st and 10. Quarterback fakes the handoff and keeps it himself. Short gain.
Yeah, protect the ball.
Forward for 4.
The keeper, tackle made by number 19, 18, Alex Dietrich. Gain of 4 on the play, bring up a 2nd and 6.
Under 2 minutes in the third quarter.
A lot at stake. We're crowning a conference champion tonight. They might actually get a trophy tonight.
They do, the cheese grater.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Conference championship on the line, playoff seeding on the line.
Right, the team that wins here has to be seated above the other to 1-on-1, trying for a 2-score lead. Incomplete.
Off the hands, yeah.
Tough catch, had to look back over his left shoulder there, and I thought the defense coverage was pretty good there. Quarterback put it in a spot where it was his receiver who was going to have the better chance than the defender. And that ball, just a high lofting pass that seemed like it was in the air forever. Here's third down.
You have been around for a long time, obviously in the area. Not a lot of good passing offenses, especially Division II, Division III, and lower. This is a good one.
You play this small and try and pick up a first down. On the ground, cut back to the end zone. Touchdown, Indians! It was the cutback from Barnes Bunkelman. And there is the 2-score lead that Mosinee's been looking for. He planted that back foot and cut back. That's what got him into the end zone. As you will see on our Zaleski Sports replay in just a moment after this PAT try.
Could be an important one, too.
Extra point try, good. Our new score, 28-14.
We'll take a look at that replay again, and as we do, it's time to plan your next trip to Gorski's. Gorski's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Mosinee looks to Gorski's for a great menu filled with great food and a relaxing atmosphere. Visit Gorski's just off I-39 in Mosinee. And there is, as Chris said, another touchdown for the Indians and a 2-score game. Seems big right now.
It really does.
Yeah, I mean, look at the turn of events. Medford gets down to the 5-yard line, fails on 4th down. And Mosinee got one big chunk play, put together a 95-yard drive, and goes up by 2. Could that be a championship moment late here in the third quarter?
Could be.
And with the way Medford wants to run the ball, I mean, it's entirely possible in the fourth quarter they may only possess the ball twice, and you need 2 touchdowns here. So possessions become precious, even though there's a full quarter of football to play. Bouncing kick comes up high off the turf.
Yeah,
Start with good field position at the 41-yard line.
I'm sure the special teams coach definitely talked to the 11 guys that were out there for the halftime kickoff and said, no matter what, someone just get the ball. Don't let it keep bouncing down the field. And that actually didn't end up hurting Medford. But, yeah, I mean, you have to recover kickoffs.
Appreciate our new trainer to Mosinee, Aaron Sparks. Thank you, Aaron, and Aspires Boston Hospital.
Trips up high in this formation. Protection's pretty good. Throw over the middle. Yeah, good protection sets up that strike. Paxton Rothmeiler.
Yeah, wide open. Slanting across the middle of the field.
Would Medford dare to open things up a little bit? Because Mosinee, it's a smaller front line on defense, and they just were not getting to the quarterback at all.
Yeah,
the throws sure become easier when you can just sit there and scan through what you have in front of you.
Definitely mix it up more than you have, because you have to.
Again, the receivers are prominent here. It's a handoff. Spreads out the defense a little bit. Gillis has 5 yards on what will be the final play of the third quarter. Mosinee's trying to make a 14-point lead stand up. Medford is driving. They're at the 30-yard line. The fourth quarter awaits when we come back on Zaleski Sports.
Experience the SCS difference living in an SC Swiderski apartment, offering a wide variety of rental options all throughout central Wisconsin. With SC Swiderski, you know you're in great hands. Find your comfortable, clean, and inclusive apartment at scswiderski.com. And right here in Mosinee is Lee's Piggly Wiggly. Lee's Piggly Wiggly is a proud supporter of Mosinee Athletics. Be sure to stop in for all your grocery need. Lee's Piggly Wiggly, fresh, friendly, and close to home. Dan, I did find a Wausau West video outlet online, which, okay, is good news. The bad news is I cannot read their scoreboard. It's all blurred out. I have no idea if Hortonville has 8-6-0, some other number. I have no idea. Hortonville, though, is on the move right now. I'll update the score once I figure out what in the world the scoreboard says. Best Funeral Home in Mosinee is proud to support our Mosinee Indians high school athletics. For support, arrangements, or pre-arrangements, find all you need at bestfh.com. Fourth quarter is now. Back to Chris and Dan.
Turnover in the Wausau West game, returned all the way back to midfield on a tip.
So West could be winning by 1. They could be losing by 1, or they could be winning by 7. Don't know what the scoreboard says.
Looks like they're not at Tom Field. They're at West, aren't they? Or is that Tom Field?
That's a Tom Field game there.
Okay.
I saw Hortonville last week. Sophomore quarterback. Hortonville's probably a year away. Run to the end zone. Touchdown. Medford answers on the first play of the fourth quarter. Baumgartner, the quarterback, is in. So strap on your helmets for a fourth quarter. Baumgartner.
Yeah, I don't even know if they can kick. Southern Wisconsin football, you don't have to have a kicker.
Trailing by 8, could be trailing by 6. Throw, low to the pylons. Did he hold it?
Ooh.
The receiver closest to it says yes. They're going to huddle up. I think we're going to have a discussion about this. Side judge closest to it said successful try.
And now a penalty.
And they're staying with catch.
Yes, it was like an unsportsmanlike penalty is going to be on Mosinee that's going to bring the kickoff up. Yeah, what it looked like happened was it was a successful catch, got hit as he went over the line, and then the ball came out. But again, if you have control, you get over the goal line, that's a successful attempt, right?
Right. Break the plane, possession, and 2 feet down. The try is good.
Yep.
And at least that's the call from the guy who's closer to it than anyone. Everyone here sees the ball came out, but possession and across the plane gets you the 2 points.
Kind of a bang-bang play.
28-22.
Yeah, that's a big 2-point conversion. That's a big call because if that's called incomplete, it's an 8-point game, and now Medford has to score and get the 2 points. Now, if Medford gets a stop and they go down and score, you can kick to win, or you go for 2 to win.
Mosinee has touchdowns on 2 of their last 3 possessions going back to the first half. 11:53 to play in the game. Indians by 6 and about to get the ball back.
Yeah, I think if you're Mosinee, you don't do anything different. You're moving the ball pretty well, mixing in some runs, short passes.
For the Raiders, number 33, Gage LaSavage. Back to return for Mosinee, number 4, Keegan Dersley, and number 24, Elliot Yarkovsky.
This kickoff comes from across midfield to the 45-yard line. The unsportsmanlike 15 yards assessed on where you'll kick off.
I'm a big advocate for always onside kick if you kick from here. Why not?
Well, right, you can, because it's got to go the 10 yards, and the worst case, they'll take it over at the 35. Let's see what the Medford thinking is in this spot. Kick deep from the 5, coming out. Yeah, I like onside kick rather than putting it in the hands of the other team's fastest kid. Now, this works out fine. They're going to start at the 11-yard line, so the field position's lousy. But you are taking a risk there.
Special thanks to our fourth quarter sponsor, Jamie Schley, American Family Insurance. Get all your insurance for great coverage and great rates with Jamie Schley, American Family.
A lot of the story of this game will be written on this drive.
Yep.
If Mosinee gets a touchdown and answers, they'll be back up by 2 scores. You'd love their chances of closing out for a victory. Medford gets a stop. They get the ball back, trailing by 6. Got a pass on first down to one-on-one coverage in the air. Caught. That's a great catch. Right in front of our Zaleski Sports cameras, David Stoffel. Out to the 45-yard line. That's a 35-yard catch.
Yeah, we talk about championship drives. This could be one of them, and why not put it in the hands of your best players?
Receiver located that ball at the last minute. It's over his right shoulder and then right into his outstretched arms. A very, very nice catch. Trips up high. Single receiver down low. Back to the ground game. 2, 3 yards. Bunkelman.
Tackle made by number 18, Alex Dietrich.
Mosinee's been running the ball just enough that you keep the defense honest.
So DC Everest has West next week.
That game will be at Tom Field, our Zaleski Sports cameras, and we'll line up some schlub who will call the game too. 2nd down and 8 here. On the ground, quarterback keeps it, and a pitch. And first down yardage, cuts back, beating everyone to the pylon, a touchdown saving tackle.
Ball carried by
Ethan Dinesha. There is a penalty down, a marker down, all the way back at the 40-yard line. Mosinee's going to have the ball in the red zone, but it's coming back.
Yeah, I can hear the Mosinee coaches not happy with the officials.
What you hate is when the penalty happens after the ball's already pitched. Because at that point, boy, you don't need a hold, you don't need a low block, you don't need whatever this penalty is.
Yeah, they're looking at the replay. Don't really see a whole lot there.
Penalty is an unsportsmanlike conduct on Mosinee.
That's got to be the 3rd or 4th one.
Well, and that's probably the bench, right? We had a warning earlier, and now probably the bench again, as that play came bench side.
Well, you know what? If this is kind of a break for Mosinee, because if it's a hold or a block that's coming back, if this is a dead ball foul, what we're going to do is it's from where the play ended, and we'll go back 15 yards. So it doesn't wipe out a huge gain.
6 on Jackson Lindell.
Penalty is marked off. It'll bring up a 1st and 10 for Mosinee.
The white hat asks for a timeout. Want to make sure we've got the ball spotted correctly here.
It doesn't seem like it would be, right? Because if the flag was down at the 40, why are they bringing it all the way up?
Right. It's going to be a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, which is why the play stands. And after the play, we mark off 15 yards from where the play ended. That is a break for Mosinee.
Yeah, did they take it from the goal line? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense why the ball was placed there.
Right, they're going to say he was down at the 2, so went back to the 17, which is where this is going to be run.
Now, it could be that that's not a spot foul, right? So maybe it is just from the end of the run.
Yep.
But, yeah, that's kind of weird.
I mean, still, you don't want that penalty. You're down to the 1 or the 2 yard line, and instead you're all the way back on 2nd down. Going to throw. Pressure from the backside. Quarterback almost dragged down to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Indians. That's Davin Stoffel. And the quarterback had what was almost going down on that play, seconds away from being tackled. Mosinee goes back up by 2 scores on a 17-yard touchdown pass.
This offense is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line in this game, Mosinee's done more when they've had the ball.
Mosinee going for 2 to make it 14 by the looks of it.
Right, 12-point lead now. Looking to make it 14 with a 2-point try. Quarterback gets it, throws to the flat. Got a receiver as a blocker to the end zone. He is in. Keegan Jershely. 36-22, 14 points.
All right, as that replay loads up, you get to enjoy that at home, and we'll tell you about Charlie's Hardware. From home projects, home repair, and lawn care to sporting goods, rental services, and automotive. No matter your need, turn to Charlie's Hardware to get the job done. They're open daily on Highway 153 in Mosinee. Leave it to Charlie's Hardware because you've got work to do. Nice catch there from Davin Stoffel.
3 feet in.
3 feet in. That's a good touchdown.
That is a nice catch up across the boundary at a huge spot, not only in the game, but in the season. And then the 2-point try, Indians plus 14.
Yeah, we obviously don't gamble on high school football because that's wrong. We should not do things like that. But I did not expect 58 total points in this one. Really didn't.
Yeah, the information that was coming into us told us a little bit different story. So now the information that was brought into us tells me not to listen to those people ever again.
Yeah.
On the kick for Mosinee, number 19.
when we watch the older Sunday night football games, Al Michaels, who always has an eye on the line, even in a blowout game, when someone kicks a field goal, he'll say, this game is over.
Yeah, wink, wink. Yeah.
There's some people really upset by that late field goal.
Yeah.
Bouncing ball, mishandled again, and just got to smother this. Need ball security in this spot.
As Medford gets ready to take the field, we'll remind you about Nicolay Bank. Nicolay Bank offers personal banking that works for you with locations in Stevens Point, Wausau, Colby, Medford, Edgar, and Merrill. Nicolay Bank, proud supporters of Mosinee Indians athletics.
This is 4-down situation football for Medford for the rest of the evening. Medford needs points. 9:53, so I mean you can still stay within your game plan, but what you need is a long drive, a stop, and the ball back. So in other words, Medford trailing by 14 needs a lot to go their way. And look at this Mosinee defense. I mean, they're smaller than the Medford offensive line. It's the little defense that could. They're doing tonight. Roll out to the far side, throwing to double coverage. Wow, and the receiver got behind both of the defenders and had it go through his hands. Could have been.
Quick update, Southwest here again in Auburndale. It's Edgar 21, Auburndale 14. They play in the fourth quarter. Edgar driving.
Wausau West is a winner tonight, 7-0.
Okay, so the scoreboard that kind of looked like a chicken egg.
Yeah.
Guess that turned out to be a 0. Okay. It looked like the yolk was smashed on the screen. It really showed no number at all.
So Wausau West 5-1.
Okay, yeah. Play for at least a share of the conference title next week.
But a man across the formation, and it's an inside handoff. Only 2 or 3 yards. That's back to Tucker Schreiner.
My Marshfield Tigers will also be in the conference title hunt next week. 49-21 all over Spash. 8.5 left to go.
Timeout for an injury. That's, I think, one of the Medford linemen, or is it the running back? We'll see when he gets up to his feet.
Yep. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more after this on Zaleski Sports.
You know better when you see it.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
But sometimes it's a little harder to tell what better looks like. And you could use a little help.
Thanks, Mom.
Security Health Plan. Everything you need in a health plan. Everything you'd expect from a good neighbor.
An incomplete pass and a short run brings up 3rd down for Medford. Even if they come up short, I don't think they'll be punting here. They're down by 2 scores. 3 receivers to the far wide side of the field. And they throw to the near side. It's a slant. It's complete. It is short of the 1st down by a yard or 2, going for it on 4th down. Charlie Cleast, tight end.
So this is essentially the game right here.
Clock is moving. Under 9 minutes to play in the game. Mosinee came up with a 4th and 1 stop back in the first half. This would be a huge step towards getting this game into the win column if they get a stop here. And Medford wants a timeout. And we'll be back to our score, 36-22, 4th and 1 when we come back on Zaleski Sports.
When buying or selling land, the biggest decision you make is choosing your representation. Whitetail Properties is the top real estate company for selling hunting land, recreational properties, and farms. Our nationwide network of sportsmen, farmers, and investors offers a great opportunity for you to capitalize on the true market value of your property. In central Wisconsin, Brian Roosh is your local land specialist and is ready to help you get started on all of your property needs.
Rich, creamy, and fun. Point Craft Soda. caffeine-free, made with 100% real sugar. From Stevens Point Brewery.
Back to Mosinee, 8:42 left to play. Mosinee hangs on to a 14-point lead. Crystal Finishing Systems is a family-owned business now hiring for both their Weston and Mosinee locations with openings in manufacturing, fabrication, management, customer service, and so much more. Join the Crystal Finishing team. Learn more at crystalfinishing.com. Back to Chris and Dan.
Everybody's in tight on 4th down. Can Mosinee's defense get a stop?
They're trying to draw him off, maybe?
Handoff, 1st down. Did that ball come out? Down. Down by contact, gain of 4, and the chains move.
You know what? Season on the line, conference title on the line. Go to your bread and butter. Do what you do best.
Sure. Clock stops for just a moment and runs again. Again, Medford needs points and enough time left to get the ball back a second time, trailing by 14. Receivers to either side, man across the formation, snaps low. Throw, complete. 12-yard gain, 1st down out to midfield.
Pass is completed to number 24 for Getz.
Great job by the yard marker guy to get out of the way.
Landon Vergetz was down. We had an injury stoppage for him back in the first half. He's back on the field and has that reception.
It's good to see.
3 receivers to the near wide side of the field. Pistol, snaps low, design rollout. Extra blocker, pass underneath, juggled, secured, 1st down.
You can see Medford much more in a hurry. This has been a good drive.
Ball's in the hands of a lot of seniors here.
36-yard line will be a 1st and 10 Medford.
Say that he stayed in bounds, stopped just short of the boundary, so the clock moves, 7:45 and counting. Medford cranking up the passing game on this drive. Good snap, good protection. That's got to be caught.
Yeah, it looked like maybe let him a little bit too much, and yeah, just timing maybe a little bit off.
Mosinee, this drive, has had a little trouble getting pressure on the quarterback. Logan Baumgartner's had time to look downfield, get what he wants.
A play like that, you want the quarterback to have the ball almost on the shoulder pad and just a little bit outside.
Exactly 7:30 left in the 4th quarter. After the incomplete pass, chance to huddle up. Trips up high. 3-step drop. Pressure coming there. Steps, throws. Caught to the end zone. Touchdown.
It looked like the defender had a shot at the ball and just kind of lost trying to find out where the ball was, where the defender was, and
the receiver put on the afterjets to get underneath that ball.
Yeah, really well done.
So Medford is not done yet tonight. Going for 2. Rollout. Throws to the end zone. Got a man in the back. Too tall.
That's a big play.
Okay, we'll turn our eyes back to our Security Health Plan instant replay. Security Health Plan promises kept plain and simple. Take a look at that touchdown pass.
I mean, look, the receiver knows he's got to get this ball, and he speeds up. He accelerates to get himself in position to make this catch.
Yeah, the defender was in good position, just turned his head and slowed down, turning his head.
Yeah, that's a good play.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, as we await the kickoff, Paper City Lanes of Mosinee, 8 lanes of bowling, hot food, cold drinks. Have your next birthday party or special event at Paper City Lanes in Mosinee.
Are we going there afterwards? Go
There's
bowl
a
again?
Really good chance. we like bowling alleys. I was already there once today, though. The bowling alleys weren't lit up yet. They are now, I guarantee it, and they will be after the game.
For Jason Zaleski, you turn the bowling alleys on.
Dang right. I put the bow in bowling.
Got a ball with a big Z on it.
Ooh.
Oh, there's something.
Rolls a big 18-pounder for sure.
Yeah, I get my bowling ball from Ernie McCracken. Kingpin.
Yep.
Yeah. Roy Munson, Ernie McCracken.
We haven't talked about it, but Jason actually beat me in bowling last time out in Wittenberg.
I wasn't going to bring it up. It's just a matter of fact of life, I suppose.
Yeah, humbling.
Pooch kick. Mosinee has it.
I wasn't expecting that, but I probably should have been.
I know there are so many different ways to see things in football. To me, it's early for that. 7:21 left, and Mosinee possesses the ball near midfield at the 49.
Yeah, 7:21 left. You figure if they have the ball at the 50 or they have the ball at the 20, 30, it probably doesn't make much difference.
Yeah, wherever the ball is, bottom line right now, Medford's defense needs a stop. Can't give up points. Snaps low, quarterback thinks about the pitch, keeps it himself. Right decision, and slides forward for 7 yards.
Yeah, and something to watch. The center quarterback snap has not been good several times tonight.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And you hate to see something like that happen where the ball skips off a shin or something, right? And always from the shotgun. Many, many teams do that now.
Right, I don't think Mosinee's quarterback's been under center, maybe not at all tonight. Snap there, pass out, complete, stays inbounds, gets a first down.
6.5 minutes left here in Mosinee. Final minutes over in Auburndale. Auburndale down by 7 and driving until Tegan Straight strips the ball from the Auburndale ball carrier, thwarts the Eagles' drive. Edgar looks to move past Auburndale tonight. Closing minutes on ZaleskiSports.com.
Auburndale highly ranked in the state this week, I believe.
Yeah, I think 6th in Division 6.
Yep. Edgar's 3.
Yep, Division 7.
Yep.
Mosinee here started with a short field, and they moved it to the 35. This is 1st and 10. Try to get the edge, and the Medford defense strings it out.
Swallowed him up.
Jersley did not get the corner, loses a yard.
So you've seen a lot of games, Chris. What is your one shining moment that you remember broadcasting in your long career?
Do you know my very first high school football game? It's DC Everston Marshfield at the old Beale Stadium. And I didn't realize, you know how the old Beale Stadium is, the bleachers come right up to the press box.
Yeah.
So some of the Marshfield fans are realizing that I'm the Everest radio guy. And they're talking back to me during there's give and take with the guy throwing down here and penalty marker coming in. You know what I don't like about this? The official closest to it kept his flag in his pocket. And it's the side judge who's going to throw pass interference.
Maybe a better angle.
Yeah, we'll dial up a replay here, see what we find out.
Well, clearly contact.
Indication is a passing interference on Medford.
So my first high school football game, it's a back and forth game. There were 4 lead changes. Marshfield has the lead, but the Evergreens drive down to the 10-yard line.
That's a good call.
And have no timeouts. So the Evergreens have 4 chances to throw into the end zone to try and win the game, and all 4 of the passes were incomplete. And the Tigers come away with the win. My very first high school game, and it was a great one.
Roll Tigers.
How many state championships have you called?
You know what? And this is something that just tells you about the Everest football program,
Yeah.
and I've had a great time following them. But Everest is only slightly better than 500 over the 12 years that I've been there. I mean, I'm after the Wayne Stephenhagen years, and again, he set a standard that's difficult, impossible to hold to measure up to. And a Hall of Fame successful coach casts a long, long shadow. Gain of 5 here, 2nd and 5.
5:15 and counting in the fourth quarter.
As the Indians come into the red zone in a spot where Medford really can't give up points. Mosinee twice has gone up by 2 scores. Can they go up a third time and seal the deal? Handoff. A seam through the tackles. First down. First and goal. Under 5 minutes. It's only the second time that Wyatt Harris has touched the ball tonight, but that's a big moment.
Quick reminder, our Nasonville postgame show upcoming. Nasonville Dairy, fresh cheese curds made daily, NasonvilleDairy.com. Chris Conley will be on the field with our winning coach and a player of the game. Don't go anywhere after the buzzer. 4:30 left to play.
Some good candidates tonight.
Yeah.
I think I like the quarterback, Ombreski. He had the big touchdown run, and he's been sharp tonight. Mosinee has been effective through the air. But then again, the quarterbacks get all the glory, don't they?
Get him and Stoffel. Buddies.
I don't know if this was a blown play or not. For a moment, Ombreski looked like he had that ball out for someone who wasn't there. No gain. It does keep the clock moving, seconds that Medford will probably need. And we know that the kicking game in high school football is a sometimes thing, but a successful field goal here would really do the trick tonight. 3.5 to go and counting.
Kickers are people too, Chris.
Handoff, swallowed up. Wyatt Harris carries again. Medford will take a timeout on defense. Want to conserve as much time as we can as we move down to third down from just inside the 5-yard line. And we will take a quick break. Our score, 36-28, Indians and Mosinee driving. This is Zaleski Sports.
Customize your next apparel order with Maida Custom Apparel of Stevens Point. Visit us today for custom baseball and softball apparel. Need help with a design? We have you covered. Our highly skilled staff will turn your idea into a reality with great quality screen printing. Or choose from a variety of embroidery options today. Visit us at our physical store or online at maidacustom.com.
Winter's coming fast, which means it's time to hit the trails. Bill's Service Center has all things you need to stay warm and dry on the trails this winter. With a full selection of jackets, bibs, helmets, boots, casual wear. And don't forget that Bill's is your chainsaw safety gear headquarters. Bill's Service Center is your one-stop connection for all your cold weather riding gear.
Don't freeze your jingle bells off. Get your cold weather riding gear at Bill's Service Center. Bill's Service Center, where the adventure begins.
The final 3:18 is upon us. Back to Chris and Dan.
I think of commercials I could never star in, and there's one. Third down from the 5-yard line. 2 receivers up high. 1 down low, designed roll out to the one side. Throw, end zone. Jershali's got it! Touchdown! Sure looks like a title conference catch from 5 yards out. Back up by 2 scores and very little time left in the game. Keegan Jershali had the 3 receivers up high, and the pass comes to the receiver that's down low in that formation. Jershali with a big moment. Snap is high on the point after. It is good. Got a whistle, though. Yeah, blown dead. Maybe trying this from 5 yards further back. No, Medford is offsides.
Yeah, in high school, it gets called dead, I believe, so. A yard and a half closer.
A couple of coaches are holding up 2 fingers. Does this change the thinking because you're going to go from the 1.5 spot?
I don't think so.
Nope. Point after touchdown, kicking team still on.
14, you make it, goes 15. Yeah, I would kick it. Timeout, Mosinee.
Timeout, Mosinee.
Okay.
After the game, folks, please remember.
So time to think this through.
Please stay on the sidelines.
Yeah, let's take a break. Word from our sponsors on Zaleski Sports.
Cropping Central, conveniently located between Edgar and Stratford on County Road N, 715-352-2843. Let Cropping Central take care of your field plans, yield mapping, crop scouting, and crop protection, including hail insurance. Cropping Central, 715-352-2843, and visit them on County Road N, west of Edgar. Grassland Dairy Products is your match for an exciting new career today. Go to grassland.com to see the opportunities waiting for you. Browse through careers like CDL truck driver, shipping and receiving, line tech, quality assurance, forklift, maintenance tech, inventory associates, and more. Great compensation, weekly pay, and zero premium, company paid health, dental, and life. Apply now at grassland.com or in person at Grassland Dairy Products, Fairground Avenue, just south of Greenwood. All right, coming out of the Mosinee timeout again. 3:13 will be left after the extra point attempt as we race to the finish line here in Mosinee. As Chris and Dan have talked about, this is a conference championship game. The Cheese Grater Trophy will likely, looks like, go to Mosinee. Back to Chris and Dan.
This is Jershely's touchdown reception that puts us in this try for point after. And the kicking team is off. It will be a 2-point try. Long count, handoff, second effort to the line, short.
The 2-point conversion.
Buckelman stopped short.
Sorry, Chris. Being told right now that the Cheese Grater Trophy is in the south end zone right now. That's the end zone that we're pointed at with the camera. Yeah. So the trophy, kind of like the Stanley Cup, right? It comes out on the cart with white gloves and the whole works. It's a big deal. I don't think we got white gloves. Okay, well, we'll pretend.
I hope it's not like the Stanley Cup where players get to take it home. I'm not sure I want the grated cheese that's gone from one house to another.
They have somebody that just carries it, brings it house to house for everybody on the team, all 60 guys or whatever there is.
Yeah, that would be an undertaking anyway.
Really, the kids just bring it to school.
The trophy's been ruined over the years when someone's mom says, let's run this through the dishwasher. 3:13 left, and it's all smiles for the Mosinee Indians.
On the kick for Mosinee, number 19, Grant Kuklinski.
Kicking from the right hash this time. Pretty interesting.
Medford needs a quick strike. Bouncing ball again. From the 43-yard line, Red Raiders begin with very little time. Time wears the purple of Mosinee. 3:10 left in the game.
Thanks again to our game day sponsors, Mosinee Family Chiropractic, The Pit Stop, Varney Brothers, Gorski's, SC Swiderski, Piggly Wiggly, Best Funeral Home, Jamie Schley, American Family, Charlie's Hardware, Nicolay Bank, Crystal Finishing, and Paper City Lanes.
You know why Mosinee deserves to win this game too? 1, 2, 3 times in the second half they put themselves back up by 3 scores. So they have answered each time Medford has gotten closer. Got a pass here. Some backside pressure and a sack. No, gets out of it. Gets back to the line of scrimmage for a gain of 1.
Pass is completed to number 8, Tucker Kramer. Gain of 9 on the play will bring up a 2nd and 1.
Now Kramer moved that forward. I lost who had the ball.
I think in all the spinning, he was a whirling dervish out there and launched the ball forward.
Got out of bounds, too. Stops the clock, 3:01. Three receivers to the near side. That receiver may have gotten an early start. No flag. Throws to one-on-one coverage. A lot of hand fighting. That's a good defensive play.
Finals. Go ahead, Chris.
That's Jerry Sterick, who kind of reached in front. And again, both receivers got a right for the ball, but it's in the air. And at the last minute, the defensive back got a hand in there.
Finals coming in from all over the area. Marshfield 49, Stevens Point 21. Wisconsin Rapids 48, Appleton West nothing. Edgar 21, Auburndale 14. Spencer Columbus Falls to Stratford 45-0. And Wapaka looking to close out Seymour there in the final minutes of that game. Wapaka with a 3-score lead.
So if you follow the big schools in the Valley Football Association, all three that are in contention for that league title next week all won today. Wausau West, Wisconsin Rapids, and Marshfield all in the win column, which means no mistakes for any of those schools in Week 9. Baumgartner keeps it. He's down to the 46-yard line, but it's enough for a first down.
West 7-0 winners over Hortonville.
Do we know the matchups next week? We know that West plays Everest.
West and Everest. Yep, Marshfield will finish with Hortonville. No.
Yeah, Hortonville's only a one-win team. Quarterback shakes off a hit. Now Tux needs to get out of bounds and does to the 33-yard line.
You know, you guys ask great questions. Here it is. DC Everest is at Wausau West. Marshfield at Hortonville. Spash at Appleton West. That's a inconsequential game. Wausau East at Wisconsin Rapids, but that game won't happen because of East not formulating a football team.
So Rapids.
So it's just the two games.
So Rapids won a conference title tonight.
I suppose you are correct.
Because they're 6-1.
You're exactly right, Dan.
Boy, the big schools have really had their schedules shaped by Wausau East not being able to get on the field. We are hoping that they'll be able to field an 11-man team next season.
Well, they couldn't field an 8-man team this year, so.
Right, sure would make scheduling for all of their other conference partners easier. There's a pass over the middle in traffic, complete.
It's a good drive by Medford.
Clock stops with 2:16. They will restart shortly.
Yardage is good for a 1st and 10 Medford. Ball will be marked at the 15-yard line, Mosinee.
These teams have just been toe-to-toe and have been trading drives in the second half. Can Medford score with enough time left? This is a short pass, complete, lunging forward, out of bounds. Stop the clock.
It's like inside the 5.
A quick note back to that Stratford win over Spencer Columbus, the 500th program win for the Stratford Tigers.
I saw that on Twitter today.
Ball spotted down at the 4 and 1st and goal.
Tom King tells us in 27 years of broadcasting, tonight was his first broadcast at Auburndale High School. He needs to leave Wausau a little more often.
Yeah, this is Tom's adventure tour. As the voice of Wausau East for many years, Tom King went a 3-year stretch without calling a Lumberjacks win. That's intercepted! Ball game! Gavin Stoffel, I think, has won himself into the post-game interview. He's got a great touchdown catch down at the other end, and the deal-saving interception in the end zone.
I don't know how you can keep him out, Chris.
You know what, Chris? Just get the whole team. Tell him to bring the grader.
Oh, it'll be there. The grader will be in the postgame.
There are going to be some parties tonight in Mosinee. The team's been well supported tonight. See a lot of fans across the way. The student section is large.
Yeah, breaking news. Dan and I are staying at the Quality Inn in Mosinee tonight.
People say that the SNL after show's great.
Yeah.
They haven't been to the Zaleski one.
Yeah, that's right. It'll be at the Quality Inn over by I-39 in Mosinee.
Medford stops the clock with a timeout.
BYOB, though. Bring your own brats.
Yep. So what's next on Zaleski Sports this week? We got a lot of playoff seeding projections probably, and
yeah, well, we've actually got a soccer game tomorrow. Pacelli at La Crosse Aquinas. A long trip for the Cards down to take on the Blue Golds. And then, yeah, it is a massive meeting in Stevens Point on Monday for Zaleski Sports, where we begin to plot our playoff course. Again, volleyball seeds come out on Sunday. Soccer seeds partial out. The rest will come out also tomorrow or on Sunday. We will have likely 95% of football figured out. So we will begin to plot our playoff course and give you as many playoff games as we can.
Always room for a local team that isn't usually covered by Zaleski Sports if they go real deep.
Yeah, teams we've covered all year, like Pacelli and Spash and others, won't make the playoffs for football, so we'll divest our coverage into other schools.
1:44, a countdown to victory for the Mosinee Indians, and they are deserving winners tonight.
Yeah, played a whale of a game here.
Mosinee's done more when they had the football than Medford, and Mosinee's defense just came up with what they needed tonight.
Mosinee overcame the two turnovers in the first half that led to 14 Medford points, and
yeah, they turned the ball over on the 5-yard line and gave Medford a short lead, a short field. They cashed that in on a touchdown one play later.
Chris is going to be at Tom Field next week, I bet.
Yep. Have the DC Everest West game. I've got an interesting soccer match. The number 1 and number 2 teams in the Valley are DC Everest and Wisconsin Rapids.
Yeah, that's right. A conference title game on Tuesday for Chris.
Right. Everest won the first meeting after going down 1-0, scored 2 goals in the second half. Evergreens were 2-1 winners. And that rematch will be down in Rapids on Tuesday. Everest beat Spash in soccer yesterday and has now won 13 straight. They lost their opening match and then have rattled off 13 wins, no ties since then.
Wow. I assume Jason will call me next Friday morning and tell me where we're going.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to be in Marshfield, Stratford Amherst Conference Championship game there. So I don't book it yet, but probably.
So people will see that you do, in fact, wear the tiger head.
Oh, well, there's pictures out there. I don't hide from that at all. Again, make sure to stay tuned to our Nasonville Dairy postgame show. Nasonville Dairy, fresh cheese curds made daily. NasonvilleDairy.com. Chris will be on the field, and it looks like it'll be a postgame show full of Stoffels tonight. Stay tuned for that.
Medford cannot stop the clock. 50 seconds left. Handoff. This is going to bring up 4th down.
Let that clock tick.
Yeah, Medford will have, on a punt, if Mosinee punts here, the clock will expire while the ball is in the air.
No reason to punt.
Just run it out. Just walk back a couple steps and kneel it. Run the final 3-4 seconds. That's about what's missing, or the difference between the play clock and the game clock, about 4 seconds.
Well, we've talked about this throughout the years even, that football clock operator is not an exact science.
Certainly in high school football, it is not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that is for sure one of the home field advantages in high school sports.
Yeah, I was at a game last year. I think it was the Stratford Mosinee game. There was a little bit of controversy.
Yeah, there was. So 3 seconds are left, and yeah, I suppose you could take the snap and kind of swirl around and then just kneel it 3 seconds. You could expire 3 seconds, I think.
You can probably hand it off and it'll be 3 seconds. It'll find a way. A very well fought, very well deserved win, conference title for Mosinee tonight.
Take nothing away from Medford. Medford's a quality team. Mosinee was better today and will take away the conference championship.
And it could very well be that they get, not exactly sure on the enrollments, but I think they're both Division III. They might see each other again.
And the best players on this Mosinee team are underclassmen. This was senior night. I mean, we introduced 5 or 6 seniors, but Mosinee's got a core of their offense coming back for next season. So this could be a nice run for the Indians. Snap is down low, just lofting this ball in the air. 0's on the clock. The candle is out. And the Mosinee Indians celebrate a victory over Medford. The final score, 42-28. 1, 2, 3 times in this game, the Indians got themselves up by 2 scores. Medford answered twice, but could not answer a third time. Congratulations to the Mosinee Indians. 14-point winners tonight. Down to the field we go to wrap up our Zaleski Sports coverage. Dan and Jason, great working with you tonight. Nasonville Dairy sponsors our post-game coverage on Zaleski Sports.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com. All right, so we're here with Kim Hyman. Kim, Nasonville Dairy, 125 years in the making. Tell us about that.
You know, it's fantastic. It was the first plant built in Wood County back in 1885. Sal Nason and his family came here, and they started a small dairy plant. Eventually, that plant burnt down, but then they rebuilt onto this same facility, and our family moved here in the late 60s in 1968 and took it over from there, and it's been just a fantastic growth. Great community, great people we have working for us. Oh, it's an open market. It's huge. You know, the opportunity for the diversity in the cheese industry is fantastic, and you have to be that way in order to sell a lot of product. And so we've got a great group of people working on the research and development side for us. So it's been really fortunate for us. Oh, right. We have 185 farm families that market their milk through us here at Nasonville Dairy. And we are so lucky we have like the best dairy farms in not only in central Wisconsin, but in the United States, marketing milk through us. So we're just really fortunate on that side.
Actually, we started in 1968. Our father brought us here from another cheese plant in Wisconsin. We had come from the cheese business. We've always been in the business. We had moved around the state in different parts. He brought us here about that time. The plant ran 7,500 pounds of milk at that time, and now runs about 1.5 million a day. So. We originally started out with making cheddar, and now we make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmers cheese, pizza cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Friar, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, as well as making some Gouda Edam and a little bit of Munster on occasion.
Fine. They'll give me a thumbs up when we're ready to go.
Casey, get Davin. Tell Davin he's got to come now.
We're somewhere behind in the pecking order. Don't worry, we'll start. We'll get the rest.
We'll talk till he gets here.
Coach, 42 points on the scoreboard, but you know what? I thought the defense was good. You took away more from them than they took away from you. They had trouble running the football against you tonight.
Yeah, that was definitely our focus, was to stop the run. I wish we would have played a little better against the pass, but I knew that there was more of a threat for them to throw with Bumgarner there. He's a very gifted athlete, very gifted quarterback, but I was very happy with the way we stopped the run tonight.
I thought your team showed a lot of resilience in the second half, too. You get up by 2 scores twice, they answer twice, and then you finally get the big interception in the end zone. Yeah, that was huge. Davin, I told him, you got to get one tonight. He hasn't got one yet this year, and he kind of nodded and said, okay. But, I wish we would have played a little better, a little more resistance down the stretch there. They moved the ball on us a little too quickly, I thought, but, it turned out at the end. I can't complain too much. Tell me about what the conference title means to you and your team. Well, that's huge. I mean, this is my first year as a head coach. We went undefeated in the conference last year, so that was our number one goal, was to do the same thing. We got one left, but we at least clinched the share tonight, so that's huge for me personally and also for this group. An entertaining game. Enjoy it with your team. Congratulations, Coach. Thank you very much. You want me this side? Davin Stoffel's one of the stars of the game. First of all, tell me about the touchdown catch in the corner of the end zone. Looked like a great play.
Well, my guy fell. Our quarterback, Gavin Obremski, made a great throw, getting hit, and put in a great spot for me to make a play. All right, Medford comes back twice. You had the 2-score lead. They answered 2 times, and then finally they had their fate sealed on the interception. What did you see when you picked it off in the end zone? They were running a lot of flood concepts. I saw their quarterback start to roll out, and I just kind of got to my spot, read his eyes, and was just long enough to make the catch. So, good season last year, good year this year, and you guys, you have a lot of players coming back next year that you're establishing a standard for this program. I like the culture that we've established as a program. We've got a lot of great guys coming back next year. We're losing some key guys, but we've got young guys that'll step up and bring it. So I like where we're at, and I like where we're at going forward. Congratulations on the win tonight. Enjoy it with your team. And we're wrapping up our coverage of 42-28 Mosinee win over Medford tonight. Look up there, say your name, and say, I'm in the house. Good. I'm Davin Stoffel, and I'm in the house. Super. Congratulations. Thanks a lot.